93.3 FM Real Talk Radio, Tallahassee's only locally owned and operated radio station. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Appreciate your support. And also thanks to those of you watching on Warchant TV, driving about town. Well, if you're watching on Warchant TV, hopefully you're not driving about town. But however it is, you're taking in the program, we appreciate your support. And today, it is about we. It's all of us. Opportunity to help those in need. So should be fun. It always is. And we're off to a great start. I know that before we even begin the tallies. And Tom will have up there shortly what we're doing as far as the totals and the little button thing that you can click. Or that might already be up there. I don't even know. I can't see it from my end. I think it probably is. But I'm aware of some donations before we even get going for our friends at the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, benefiting the children in Circuit 2, which is Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty counties. They always need more volunteers and mentors. Typically, they need more men to offer up their time. So if that's something that interests you, reach out to me or reach out to the Guardian Ad Litem. They will gladly take those calls and say, hey, we can put you to work. And put you to work is the wrong way to say it. But anyhow, you'll be able to help out in those moments and when a kid needs the representation and support. So that is a good thing. All right, so it's Redemption Thursday. It's a normal show. And I want to note here that I feel good about. First of all, we had a great game tonight. We're going to bowl tonight at 7, but we had a great football game tonight. I wish this game wasn't when it was, meaning tonight. I wish it wasn't the 7 o'clock game or the 8 o'clock game, whatever time that starts tonight. I wish it were a Sunday football game because I don't think games of this magnitude should be played on a Thursday night typically. It's it's a little less than ideal. But it is a good one. And these are two very good football teams. And I was able to dig in. I had a little fun with it. I'm back with my same game parlay for you kids. And I'm back with a couple of them, along with, well, 3 of them at least. And then, of course, I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if we didn't look at the first round of the college football playoffs and venture down that road with a little Miami, Texas A&M, Tulane, Ole Miss, Oregon, James Madison. Couldn't find what I wanted with Oklahoma and Alabama, although I am eagerly anticipating that matchup as well on a Libations Friday. Maybe I'll come around tomorrow with some sides or some actions or some props for that game. But for the in the interim, I do have some things today. We'll throw that up on the screen in a little bit too. Tom's a busy man right now. He's getting all these different numbers up here, which is good.
We have the donation numbers in for the initial report.
Yeah. So I think, and that number just keeps raising as we sit here on the air right now. That is from the YouTube audience. We've already had $1,930 donated.
Whoa, that means another 500 just came in.
And you could add to that because we had donations before the YouTube feed started of $2,000, and a shout out to William Stevenson and a shout out to some friends of his, Rod and Rick, who donated as well. I don't know if they wanted me to say their names, but I wanted to give them some love because they reached out and said, hey, Jeff, we're going to be busy tomorrow working, and we don't do the technology real well. Can I donate right now, right here, directly, do this thing from you? And I said yes, and they did. So that's $2,000 that I can confirm now. Add that with the 1,930, and we're talking about 3,930 is where we're at. That's what I'm talking about.
That is a nice first 10 minutes of the show.
That's an incredible first 10 minutes of the show. Yes, we're off and flying. And we'll try to acknowledge as this thing happens throughout the day. I know way back when we used to try very much to talk and say everybody's name and everybody who did it, but it gets a little bit more difficult to do that. So really what
we never thought we were going to have these numbers.
I know. What we end up doing is kind of going back and saying thanks and just rattling off 40 people's names in a row. But just know this is a big day. It's a fun day. It's It's the best. I always wake up with a huge smile on my face. We do have Florida State-related news, and why did I say that so downtrodden? Didn't I sound like I was breaking in? It was a news story of somebody's passing.
You were borderline crestfallen.
It did sound like that, and I never even intended it to. It's just kind of the tone my voice goes to when I talk Florida State football these days. It's like, well, we do have some Florida State football news for you. It's sort of a tone that says to the listener, brace yourself for more disappointment. And I didn't mean it to be. This was just the passing along of some news because we don't know necessarily how this is going to work out. But it looks like Florida State is hiring Blue Adams as their new cornerbacks coach. And, if Blue Adams could recruit and or coach or both, as well as his name would seem to indicate, right? Like when you hear Blue Adams, and I'll tell you about Blue Adams' background in a moment, coming from Michigan State. But if you hear Blue Adams in a football circle, and I'm not saying this is who Blue Adams is, I'm just saying that if you were sitting down at the bar talking with your friends about football and football coaches and people that, are within the game that have had success and whatever they are, you'd be like, that's like, that's like when Nick Saban was talking about, and then you'd rattle on and on and on, and then all of a sudden somebody would be like, well, that's what Blue Adams did. Blue went into Temple and turned that thing around in 2 years with the same guiding principles. And now everybody wants to hire Blue Adams. And in football circles, Blue Adams would sound normal. If you were in a corporate setting and somebody said, well, we're going to have to talk to Blue Adams about that, you might be like, who the hell is Blue? What? That is weird. His name's Blue? But in football circles, you're like, yeah, Blue Adams. That's true. Yeah. He was good friends with Red Franklin. And you would just be like, yep, they go way back.
Red Franklin, yeah. Absolutely.
Red Franklin and Blue Adams, these are football people, Tom. How could they not be? It's what they do. They were high school legends, Red Franklin and Blue Adams. And also, even though it's real, I think every state has to have a Thomas County. Oh, yeah, man. You remember those defenses in Thomas County? Yeah. Yep, Thomas County. I'll tell you what, years and years and years. Best defenses in the state. Well, it's one of them Thomas County boys. They grow them different there. Red Franklin, Blue Adams. That's tough to beat right there. You got to find you a Blue Adams.
Red is a football lifer. Because he becomes old Red Adams later in his life as he's a coach of the local team. And
he's old Red Adams around many a table in a diner over coffee. Well, Red Adams was the first. Old Red Adams was the first I remember to run that 5.2. He swore by it. Blue Adams took it, kind of mixed it up a little bit, but I think old Red Adams was the one. Anyhow, Blue is the next cornerbacks coach for Florida State. He's coming over from Michigan State. Michigan State sucked, so I would not look at any of the numbers from Michigan State who were a dumpster fire and moved on from their coach. I'd go back further and take a look at him and what he's done in his previous stops. He's a former NFL football player as well, who once briefly played for the Jags and the Bucks and the Bengals. And if Blue Adams made a tackle in one of those games that you were watching for any one of those teams, you'd go, Blue Adams looks like he's got a little something to him.
He forced the fumble for us. By definition, that's a tackle.
Big play Blue Adams had there. Anyhow, he did, by the way, in 2006. I remember it like it was yesterday, Tom. Jarred that ball loose in a crucial moment. That 2006 team would have been lost without that play.
I'm trying to think of what bar I would have gone to in 2006 to watch the Bucks.
Hat tricks?
Oh, if I was down there, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm 20 years old, so I had to.
It would have been one you could have snuck into.
Yeah. I don't know where the hell but I saw it. I know I did. But now I'm going to confuse blue and red all day long. Hey, what about the new coach? Oh, red? No, blue.
Blue.
Oh, sorry.
Blue Adams. Tony, that's funny. Are we sure he's going to make it to Tallahassee? Not if Florida wants him or any other school that isn't a dumpster fire.
Here, I thought today was going to be charitable and fun and good.
It is going to be charitable and good, and it is going to be fun. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? You got to be able to poke fun at what's happening here.
Red Franklin, that's who you can laugh at.
Red was fine, but he could get a little testy after a loss.
Red needed 10 minutes.
Red needed 10 minutes with a ice-cold Budweiser in the back to kick it around with his boys about what happened here tonight in Thomas County.
Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Door closes gently, not slammed, gently.
He's just sitting there, socks pulled high, ice-cold Budweiser in his hand, thinking a little bit about what just transpired out here on these fields on a Friday night in Thomas County.
You always appreciated that he had the internal rage, but he would close the door like a gentleman. He would never slam the door. Give me a minute.
Well, that was his upbringing. He knew you don't show your ass in public like that, Tom. You got to keep it together. Comport yourself. And Johnny Ray Jones is a good friend of Red and Blue. And they ask pointed questions. They want honest answers. That's what they want.
Y'all gonna win?
We're gonna
try it, Johnny.
We're gonna hit somebody out there today. Anybody gonna hit anybody? Huh?
Last I checked, that was the goal, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Johnny Ray's asking pointed questions of Red Adams. And that's an exchange that everybody else on the beat sits back and watches.
Yeah, but the new guy always gets nervous. But the old timers on the beat are like, oh no, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
They're actually friends.
Yeah, they're actually
you
really
might see
friends.
him at the watering hole later tonight, but in this setting, there's pros, and it gets testy.
You're gonna ask me that today, Johnny Ray?
Yeah.
We just lost our best player for the season. You're going to ask me that today.
Yeah, that would be so good.
It couldn't wait, Johnny Ray.
We could make a movie, man.
Well, y'all gonna?
Next man up is what you always told me, Red.
Any other questions from civil people?
Keith.
Surely you have a question about the band or something, Keith.
He just turns to Keith.
It is homecoming. You ask me about the band every year.
Wow. I have not even prodded or prompted. And we are at 3,520 in segment 1 with a goal to get past and surpass. You can do it, Jeff. Last year's number of 19,000 on air. We surpassed 20,000 in total last year because of what was donated at the bowling alley on site with gift cards. And also we had a guy come in late as an anonymous donor and drop like $5,000 late in the show a year ago. Listen, I've said this time and again, money's a delicate thing when you start talking about it. And I want just everybody to feel comfortable doing whatever they can. And I mean that sincerely, because to me, the person that gives and offers up their kindness and their contribution to what I think is a very, very worthy cause, helping kids who would not otherwise have any kind of a decent Christmas have something on that day, I'm forever grateful to. So it could be $5, could be $5,000, could be $30,000. Obviously, the numbers are different, and some of them are eye-popping and others are not. But the thought and the kindness behind them is what I think about when I see a contribution. I'm not judging whether somebody gives $7 or $25 or $20,000. I just care that people do the best they can and offer whatever help they can. And we are greatly appreciative of that. And I mean that sincerely. And I've watched it. I have seen what this organization does for these kids and what their volunteers do for these kids. And so anything we can do to better their situation, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. Let's just put it that way.
These folks are unbelievable heroes of the community.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good that they're amongst us, and there are people like that in the world that restores your faith in humanity just a bit. We do have wagers. Let's get to them in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
It's Christmas time, my yard's a mess, friends and family coming, oh, what a stress.
Pick up the phone, the Lawn Johns are near, the Lawn Johns can help, no need to fear.
322-2567.
322-2567.
Lawn Johns, Lawn Johns. 322-2567. 322-2567.
No need to fear, the Lawn Johns are here.
Hey, Knowles fans, it's Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, proud sponsor of the Jeff Cameron Show. If you feel like the housing market is on a losing streak, I can help you find new momentum and respond. Waiting for mortgage rates to drop could actually cost you more in the long run. When rates fall, home prices and buyer competition go up. That's why I'm helping Knoll Nation to get pre-approved now. So when the perfect home hits the market, you're ready to score before the other team even lines up. Whether you're buying your first home or upgrading your dream home, I'll guide you through every step with passion and preparation. Let's get started today, and you can do that at loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, helping Knowles everywhere find their home field advantage.
Feeling sluggish? Wake up your body the right way with Vigor. The all-new Vigor Cold Plunge Tub from Hot Spring Spas is now available exclusively at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Boost circulation, reduce inflammation, sharpen your focus, and more. Elite athletes do it daily, and now you can too. Experience the power of cold therapy in your own home. Come see the Vigor Cold Plunge, available only at Pinch a Penny on Capitol Circle Northeast and Greer Road.
Florida man, what in the jingle bells happened to you this time?
So I'm at the mall with my emotional support alligator, Hank, and he decides he wants to tell Santa what he wants for Christmas. And he's been real good this year. He saved Thanksgiving. He only bit 2 people. So Hank is sliding up on Santa's lap, and he starts to whisper about this Skeeter 21-foot FXR Apex bass boat that he wants with the Minn Kota spot lock, the 250 horsepower Yamaha motor, and the thing on the dash that shows you where the fish is. And Santa starts tearing up. He said it was the most beautiful Christmas gift he'd ever heard of.
So, how'd you end up with a black eye?
Well, I may have complimented Mrs. Claus on her holiday cookies. Next thing you know, she whirls around and decked me like the Hall.
Whether it's mall mishaps, ladder falls, or gator-related gift shopping, Fenn Chiropractic is here to get your holiday spine straightened out. Unwrap relief this Christmas at Fenn Chiropractic. Visit fennchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Rolling on this, the Giving Day, we like to call it, as we collect donations. And we have already collected quite a few for our friends at the Guardian Ad Litem, Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, benefiting the children in Circuit 2, representing kids in Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty counties. And once again, they always need volunteers and mentors. So if that interests you, please let me know or reach out directly. You can find that online, of course. They will celebrate you, and they will find a way for you to help. And I know several people who in the last few years have come up to me and said they did just that, and that they are so excited they did. Put a smile on my face. We all gathered over. I'm going to get a free plug here. Usually there's no free ads, but we all gathered one night in an effort to try to get more men to volunteer over at Momo's. I may have had a glass of beer. And we were able to successfully sign up a couple of gentlemen who've since come up to me and said, thank goodness they went to that meeting and thank goodness they signed up. So it's a great thing. All right, Tom. We're up over $4,000 just already in the show on YouTube. Another $2,000 from off the air would put us at $6,225 is where we sit currently.
Fantastic.
A slew of people have jumped in here recently and donated during the live show. I have failed at the outset of this program to do what I normally do, which is delegate the responsibility to Tom about telling everybody how this whole thing works from a technology standpoint. It seems simple enough that even I could figure it out, but you're better at explaining it. And there are people over the age of 50 out there, Tom, who sit incredulous as they stare at the screen, not knowing how to help.
Over the age of 50? Shouldn't you say over the age of 60?
40, maybe?
40? Yeah. No, I'm just saying move it above where you are, man, because you know what you're doing.
For the most part.
Yeah. So if you're driving around town or you're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, the way to donate is specifically on the YouTube channel. The YouTube function is what allows us to run through Google services every cent that you donate directly to the bank account of the Guardian Ad Litem, which is also known as Child Advocates 2, right here on the page. So you'll find information about the charity if you wish to vet them within this YouTube link of today's show. So if you're driving around town right now, heck, if you're listening on the podcast, the link will be active after the show is over.
You're damn right it will be.
But you head over to YouTube on the right side of the screen. If you've got it on desktop, on mobile, just scroll down a little bit. You'll see a big donate button and the grand total, which is now at $4,245. Hit the donate button. It links up to your card. You're all set. Every cent you donate goes to the Guardian Ad Litem.
100%.
100% of it doesn't touch any place except their bank account after Google processes your payment.
And I would ask that you double your donation that you're about to donate, because I'm about to hand you some winners. You're going to make it back. You're going to make your money back because of this guy on a Redemption Thursday. Let's do this together, kids. We got a big one. We got a little Rams Seahawks action in what should be a tremendous football game.
Had to go with the small font. You had a lot today.
I got a lot. I came with it today. Also want to note, Tom, that we can do the props. Got only if be prop Jeff. It's wagers as well. I just look so angry with the bulbous nose.
What is that from? Like Popeye? Is that like Popeye animation?
It's classic. Here you go. Rams Seahawks, same game parlay at a plus 125. We're going Stafford over 1.5 alt passing touchdowns. You go in, you click a little thing, little player props, and you see it pop down like that, and then you say, okay, let's look at the passing TDs, and then the little menu comes down. That's what you do. You shrewd gamblers know this, of course. But you take Stafford over 1.5 alt passing TDs, and you take Darnold at just over 1. I don't have as much faith in Sam Darnold as I do Matthew Stafford. And you couple those bad boys, and at the time that I did it, I got it for a cool plus 125. Simple bet. Straightforward. Let's get it done, boys. Same game parlay number 2.
Hello, number 2.
At plus 260. We're going a couple guys, anytime touchdowns. 2 gentlemen that are very familiar with the end zone. Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is really good, anytime touchdown. Marry the 2, you get it for a cool plus 260. Let's dance. Same game parlay number 3. Got a cool plus 350.
Hello, number 3.
Kyron Williams plus 14.5 rushing yards in the first quarter. Those are alt rushing yards. You got to go in and manipulate. Puka Nacua, whose brother was just arrested along with another for stealing an LA Lakers forward on the bench's BMW. Crazy story I read this morning.
What?
I'll get to it later. It's
Okay.
just made me laugh. I don't think they stole it. I think they borrowed without asking. I'd never heard of the player. I looked him up. He's averaging a point a game. He is in the league. I mean, that's something. But I'm like, wait a minute. Why would Puka Nakua's brother grab a guy and steal a Lakers also ran's BMW? By the way, you really can't steal cars anymore. I know somebody out there is listening going, yeah, you can. But the point is, like, every car has a tracker. We're all tracked. You get into an accident, and they quickly know exactly how fast you were going, where you were,
buddy.
exactly what was happening, and you were just in one.
Yeah. No, immediately the alarm went off, which was annoying. And it's like, impact detected. I'm like, yeah, you think?
Yeah. I just got
Impact.
rocked.
I detect impact as well.
I would have loved to have known and heard of that prior to your accident, that was a thing that happened, because back in the day, if I got rocked on a tackle, I would love to have laid there and gone, impact detected.
Well, I wish it was a voice alarm. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was this red thing on the screen. It's impact detected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
So Kyron Williams, 14.5 yards, alt rushing yards in the first quarter. Puka Nacua, 10-plus yards, first quarter alt receiving yards. And then we marry it with Jackson Smith and Jigba again at 10-plus receiving yards in the first quarter. I got to tell you, when I put that together today, and you got it at plus 350, I got to tell you, when I saw that, Tom, it was this morning over coffee, and I went, Kyron Williams, what can I get here with the alt rushing yards? 10, 12, 14. Okay, over 14. Okay, I'll do that. And then Puka, I was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, I can't believe they're letting me do this. This feels like robbery.
I would agree at plus 350. That is easily the best of the SGPs. The first one I'm a little worried about because Stafford in the previous matchup against Seattle indoors in Los Angeles only threw for $125. So the 2 touchdowns tonight in the rain, in the wind in Seattle, you should get better than plus 125 on that. I feel like the Hard Rock did you wrong.
They usually do.
They do.
The Hard Rock will bend over a bettor.
They will.
They're like, hey, the odds are better everywhere else. But we know you don't have options. There you go. Those are your same game parlays and kind of fun ones, I think. Now, as far as the college football playoff goes, Miami, Texas A&M, about the only thing I'm sure of is we're going over here.
Oh, okay.
A&M, when they've played good teams, will give it up. They'll give up points now. And I think Miami is probably a live dog here, don't you think?
Oh, 100% they are.
I mean, if you made me bet a side, I think I'm leaning Miami.
That's a little different than the previous statement. They're live, though. 100% they're
Yeah,
live.
that's a matchup.
But it's
now.
Mario, man.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Mario, I'd be like, oh, we're all in on this.
Yeah, if we had a fantasy one weekend draft thing like I do for my NFL league, Kadarius Toney is very high on this weekend's list.
Yes.
Very, very high.
Anyhow, take the over at 48.5. Tulane, Ole Miss. I'm going Ole Miss team total over 36.5. I think they stomp Tulane.
Yeah, in a weird way, they have something to prove.
Well, that's the angle I went with here. I kind of thought to myself, you know what? They're going to end up pissed off about how all this went down. And I would imagine that the coaches that remain, especially the ones that are going to remain after this, would say, no, man, we're not some slappy. We've got a little something to us now. And I would think that they'd get an opportunity if they wanted to maybe run it up. Oregon minus 21 against James Madison. I bet that right when the game was announced. I think I failed because there was a 20.5 out there that I didn't get, but 21 is fine. I'll lay it. I feel good about it. This is kind of a gross matchup. Everybody will have fun rooting for James Madison. I root for the underdog a lot of times too. This is not going to be a good game, I don't think. Now, what could happen is it gets a little sleepy, Tom. Oregon, knowing they've got bigger fish to fry,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to win the game. If you're controlling the line of scrimmage early and you know you're in control of the game, do you begin to pull certain key figures?
You kick a bunch of field goals, so you're at 30 points, right? Because you kicked a bunch of field goals and he settled, and he didn't have to push the envelope here.
Right. That's
30
what I mean.
to 10's your final.
Yeah, you're like, oh, man. Yeah, you could see it, right? You could see it. I'm a little worried about that. That's why I kind of looked long and hard at the first half number, too. Like, Oregon comes out the gate, home playoff game, fired up, drills JMU, gets a big lead, lets off the gas, backups are in, we're resting people, we're trying to win a national title, we don't need to run up the score on James Madison. You could see where you get backdoored on this thing.
Easily.
Nobody likes that. Florida Man and Alabama, if JMU or Tulane win, I will think it's a win for the college football playoff. To answer your question, I would think that would be a win for the college football playoff.
And the next team in the bracket that awaits Tulane.
100% it would be. Yeah. No, obviously everybody would be happy to see upsets, but I just think it's better for the sport if these teams that don't appear to have any business in the college football playoff find a way to win a game, because then the little guy continues to have a seat at the table, and I think most people kind of root for that to some degree.
Yeah, if JMU wins, that means Texas Tech getting drunk in Lubbock for extra reasons. And if it is Tulane, that means Georgia is having.
They're all celebrating. Yes, the next round of folks are like,
excellent.
Don't mind if you do. All right. We've slowed down on the donations. Perhaps it is my time to remind you that that's what we are here to do today. So let's, if we can, anybody out there just tuning in, it is indeed Redemption Thursday, and we are doing a normal Jeff Cameron show today, but extraordinary opportunity for everybody to help out those in need. I'm speaking, of course, of our friends at the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, children in Circuit 2 that are benefiting from our donations today. You can do it directly on the YouTube feed. I would please ask that you do that. Our goal is to surpass last year's unbelievable total of 19,000. I don't know that that's possible, but if we get somewhere close to it late in the game, I know that people will jump in and push us over the goal line, if you will, and we'll see. We'll see if we can get there.
I was more conservative in the YouTube listing. I did put 10. And we're almost halfway there. In fact, for the off YouTube donations, we are very, very near.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the screen, $4,595 donated from the time that we got the show started. An extra $2,000 were donated from some of my friends just before the show. So you can add to that total. So we're at really $6,595. Let's see if we can't, by midway through the second hour of the program, be buffering, getting close to that 10,000, then we'll see where it takes us.
Over the 5,000 mark. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody that has donated or will. Some people are listening, driving around. Can't do it yet, Jeff. Got to get parked. Got it. Whatever you can do, we really, really appreciate it. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Lisa Mariana have arrested one. Or Chipola Crime Stoppers at 850-526-5000. This is Rachel Anay with the Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Frobley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Storms with heavy rain likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Daytime highs approaching 66. Winds out of the southeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 56. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 62 degrees.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASE trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And they still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
340 Island Boy says, what up, Knowles? Just got on here. What are we raising money for? Mike's buyout. We might have to do a marathon show for that to happen. I would just be on for 72 hours, and we might get to, I don't know, 100 grand. Chip it away. Pass the baton. Somebody else come in. I remember as a kid watching Jerry Lee's telethon. Jerry Lee Lewis.
You watched those back in the day? Were they like on all the networks? Did they take over
the
TV networks? I remember like Live Aid would take over multiple channels at the same time back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, no, not Jerry Lee Lewis. He was
Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis. I said Jerry Lee Lewis because I was thinking of the great musician and also pedophile. But but that said,
I had to call my 501c3.
But Jerry Lewis, I always like opt to musicians. But yeah, Jerry Lewis's telethon. As a kid, yeah, I would watch all of those, and he would always look at the end, just beaten down, just done dealing. But yeah, they would be on. I believe Mario, if you're around, wasn't it?
I like how you appeal to him as one of the senior citizens.
Well, no, because it has to do with not only him being ancient, but we're all from that same area, so he'll recall if that was on WTOG channel 44, all like 24 hours. That's what it was.
I feel like that is a missed opportunity for Saturday Night Live or Mad TV back in the day. Is a Jerry Lee Lewis telethon.
A Jerry Lee Lewis telethon would have been hilarious. Yeah, all the guest artists would have been girls under the age of 15.
Well, that's like the bit that got scrapped. Have you seen the reel about Casey Kasem and his son? It's
the best
Dana Carvey and Bill Hader.
Yeah, but it's Bill Hader talking to what's his face, who was in A Few Good Men, and he tells the story about the skit that they wrote, which is one of my favorite moments ever. Not just the skit, but those two talking about that.
Yeah,
Dad. Yeah, it goes back and forth. It's just
here's what I need, Dad.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's that. I've watched it 50 times. It's that funny. 5,395, and I say thank you. Thank you very much. We are rolling Big River here in hour one. This is a good pace to set. I wish I could go through and thank each and every one of you. Hey, good job, Spencer. Noel Gal, look at you. That's a big damn deal right there. Thank you. Amongst others, Tara, well, yeah, she's just the best. So that's awesome. I don't think she would want the credit necessarily, but I'm giving it right now. And I want to say it to so many people, but we'll just.
We are collecting all the names. In fact, your son is at my side writing down all the names.
All of the names. Good job, Bryce. Maybe at the end, I'll go through and just. I don't know how. That's not good radio, but nonetheless. This is a weird story. There's not a lot to get into with FSU. I'm not going to prattle on about what Blue Adams is or the new quarterback coach is, because as long as Gus is here, it doesn't matter who the quarterback coach is. Gus is going to be the quarterback coach. That's kind of how that works, in my opinion. I think that's why Tony Tokars took off. A lot of people don't like Tony Tokars, but I don't think he had much say in much of anything these last 2 years. And I know for a fact he didn't want either of the last two quarterbacks that Florida State brought in. So what are you going to do? Austin Tucker to be promoted is the word as the next offensive assistant to the quarterback's coach. So we'll see what he does and what Blue Adams does. I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative.
No, you're not. It's shrug emoji season in the moment, and that's fair.
So how do you think? To me, this is bizarre. We've watched over the years as owners of NFL franchises, owners of Major League Baseball franchises, NBA franchises, professional sports. They love to hold cities hostage. They love to demand that you pay. You, the taxpayer, you, the citizen of that community, you pay for their business. You pay for their stadium to be built. State of the art, billions of dollars. You pay for all of that, or I'll take it down the road to somebody who will. That's what they love to do. And, of course, I'm always of the mindset, double middle finger, you can take it on down the road. I mean, if I want to open a coffee shop, Tom ain't building it. So the point is,
think about how much money it will bring to the local community.
You
should pay for my coffee shop.
That's always the way this works. But anyhow, what they don't do is say that they want a new stadium and that they're going to ride out like they don't. So here's the story. All right, here's the story, and it's just strange to me because I don't think with a straight face you could ask this. It's just comical. And I guess it doesn't surprise me to some extent that Kevin Warren is behind this. We remember formerly of the Big Ten, Kevin Warren, who was on vacation when the Big Ten expanded.
Jim Phillips winces when he hears the name Kevin Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So the Bears are hosting a pretty damn big game at Soldier Field. The oddity is that your host here has been to like 7 games at Soldier Field. It doesn't make any sense other than one of my very best friends in all the world is a huge Bears fan. So we've gone a couple times together, and then I've gone on my own a couple times. It's just bizarre. Like I like Chicago. It's one of my favorite cities, but Soldier Field is one of those places where when you're in Chicago and you're overlooking the lake, and you're going, you're walking around and you look over and all of a sudden, whoa, and you say, there it is. There's the stadium. That's awesome. And, the Fields Museum and all that. And you're like, this is amazing. This is cool. It's all right here. It's very of Chicago. Now, they added this stupid UFO looking thing on top of it for amenity purposes years ago, and it kind of took away from the classic architecture of Soldier Field. But I kind of understood it because Soldier Field was old and didn't have a lot of the places and areas for the amenities.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah. And so you were just kind of, you needed that. I didn't like the way it looked aesthetically, but I got it. They've done that with all the old stadiums to some degree or another, and what are you going to do? But this is crazy. They're about to host this game against the Packers. The Bears are relevant for the first time in a very, very, very long time. And in an open letter to the fans of the Chicago Bears, team president and CEO Kevin Warren said that the Chicago Bears need to explore options in other locations outside of Cook County, where the team owns a 326-acre property in Arlington Heights, Illinois, in order to build a domed stadium. They want to build a dome stadium. And, okay, you read that, and on the surface you go, I don't like it, but all right. It is cold as hell in Chicago. I mean, At least a retractable roof, perhaps, or something, is what you say when you read that, right? And then he goes on to say, and it may mean that we have to leave the state of Illinois. Excuse me? You're going to take the Chicago Bears and move them out of Chicago and out of the state completely. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he said. In addition to Arlington Park, we need to expand our search and critically evaluate opportunities for the Bears to move to regions around Chicagoland, and that would include Northwest Indiana. You know, we're going to move the Bucks. We need to explore some areas around Tampa and Georgia. What? What are you? No, you can't. You kind of can't do that.
Well, they're following the Jets and the Giants lead, is what they're doing.
It's just crazy. And there's a story behind the Jets and the Giants thing, which I went and read this morning about how that ended up happening. But no, man. No, you can't take the Chicago Bears out of Soldier Field and move them to effing Indiana. That's ridiculous.
Remember the Jets floated the idea of the Midtown Stadium for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
Midtown Manhattan. That would have been something.
They've invested time and resources, according to Warren, evaluating multiple sites, and Indiana came up. I'm sure. The Bears would move to Indiana was seen as a startling slap in the face, quote unquote, by the Illinois governor. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, I'm going to say this to Mr. Warren. I get that it probably would be an idle threat to move the Chicago Bears to the state of Indiana. But here's what I also think. There is zero chance the NFL would let that happen.
I would imagine probably not, unless they were shown P&L reports of the vast market that is Northwest Indiana and the monetization opportunities that would be available to them at said place.
There's no way. There's no way you're going to go, away from lakefront Soldier Field to, hey, let's go out in the middle of nowhere in the fields of Northwest Indiana. Man, get the hell out of here with that nonsense. That's crazy person talk. That's just comical. Like, you would laugh if somebody walked in and went, thinking about Indiana. All right. I don't have time for this today.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the guy who comes into the office who really wants a raise and says, well, the competitor's offering me 6 times what you are. Excuse me? Well, yes, you want to give me 50. They're offering 300,000. So I'm wondering if you want to, play ball.
Yeah.
And you're in my office. Why, dumbass? That is the dumbest threat I've ever heard in my life. You wouldn't be here.
Think about the Chicago Bears. That's like, it's almost akin to somebody saying, yep, the Green Bay Packers want to build a new stadium in Minnesota. What are you talking about? No.
Well, southeast Minnesota.
That's just silliness. I read that story today and just thought, well, that people just say things to say things now. The NFL will be like, it's the Chicago Bears. This isn't some slap-ass franchise like the Arizona Cardinals. We can move the Cardinals or the Jaguars anywhere we want. They don't matter.
Yeah,
It's the Chicago Bears.
I know. Major League Baseball just went through this for a far less standout franchise with the Rays. Back and forth, Quebec, Tampa,
only
St.
the Rays
Pete,
suggested
Orlando.
Yeah, only the Rays suggested Canada. Nobody else. Major League Baseball wasn't like, move them to Quebec.
They could split the home games.
What do we do? I would have understood if they were like, well, we're going to move the Rays to Nashville, or we're going to move the Rays to Charlotte,
to Asheville,
or wherever, right? Yeah, you're going to move them like in areas where they're looking to grow. Although that you already captured one of the better markets in the land, so that's why Major League Baseball pushed back and said, no, you're not, because we want to expand baseball, and that doesn't allow us to do that because that's one of the markets that we want to expand to. But if you move there, then we got to find a team for Tampa, so we're not doing that. So because we like being in this market, no matter how sorry that stadium is.
As I recall, we had to drive through Northwest Indiana to get to the dump of a town in South Bend.
We did.
It's much like
Hell?
Denver's airport. There's nothing out there.
No. Farmland.
And it did. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy, but I did get a little bit of Mordor sense. Remember when the bus got cold?
Oh, yeah. It's like as soon as you left.
It flipped a switch. You're about 20 miles outside of South Bend, and everybody went, oh, my God. The temperature dropped about 10, 15 degrees.
Yeah, it was as if it was warning you what you were driving to.
Into darkness, too?
Yeah, it was telling you, like, by the way, we're leaving here where you were having a great time at that wonderful bar and restaurant with all of your friends as you got on the bus and couldn't wait to go watch Florida State get their ass beat because they're never functional. Anyhow, here we go to go do that. And then as soon as we left, we went, like, down a hill, out into the Netherlands. And then there we were. Just like, okay. Somebody's going to abscond with us. This is not good. We're never going to make it. And then we arrived in that town, and when Tom and I were like, this place is a hellhole. Why do people celebrate this joint?
Well, once I got on campus, I held judgment. Anytime around
well, you
the
can't be on the
stadium,
interstate judging the city. Of course not.
But walking onto the campus, I'm like, that's the baseball field? That's the basketball facility?
No wonder Link couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
That's the football stadium? That's it? Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with, of course. We are at $5,565. Let's do that again next hour and keep it rolling, big dog.
You worked hard on making your house the grandest holiday decorated in the city. Well, Parker Services AC and Electrical is giving you an opportunity to be recognized for that work. Parker Services is proud to bring the Tallahassee area its Holiday Lights competition. There will be 3 winners, one from each of these categories. Heavenly Light, which captures the spirit of the Nativity. Most Electrifying, which recognizes the most vibrant, energy-packed displays. And Elves Gone Wild, for the most whimsical and wacky display. Each winner will receive a great prize package. The second and third place finisher will also be recognized. To enter, visit Parker Services website, TallahasseeAC.com. Again, TallahasseeAC.com by December 19th. You'll find easy-to-follow instructions there. Good luck and happy holidays from Parker Services AC, Electrical, and Generators too.
Parker Services, comforts to call away.
Florida license number CMC 050334 and EC 130-12140.
Craving something different? Discover the bold and surprising flavors of Peru at Café de Martín. From sizzling lomo saltado to savory handmade empanadas, every dish is made with heart, history, and soul. Crafted by classically trained Chef Martín himself. It's not just food. It's a trip to Peru without the plane ticket. Swing by Café de Martín today and taste the tradition. Café de Martín. Authentic Peruvian. Right around the corner.
Tired of spending money on bug spray and inhaling all those fumes every time you want to go outside? Treat your yard so you can stop spraying your kids.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control has a solution to this persistent problem. Paul's has a program which seeks the grounds, flower bed, and shrubs. Paul's controls pesky mosquitoes year-round, which means you can take back control of your yard. Not only are mosquitoes a physical irritation, they also pose a potential health risk to people and pets. With Paul's targeted techniques, you can rest assured that your yard will be protected and your afternoons will stay fun.
Take back your yard. Don't let mosquitoes interrupt the fun. For more information, go to callpauls.com. For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Pauls. We'll get them all.
Pauls can help eliminate fire ants from your lawn, too. We'll help you take your yard back.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon there is one every few weeks. That's why the 7th Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, 7th Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The 7th Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway, just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee. Your sports flash update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Jacksonville Jaguars football quarterback Trevor Lawrence. He has been named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He put together one heck of a performance in the win against the Jets this past weekend as he finished 20 of 32 for 330 yards, ran 5 times for 51 yards, and he accounted for 6 touchdowns, 5 through the air, 1 on the ground. Jaguars are getting ready for a huge game against Denver. That's going to be coming up on Sunday. Also on Sunday, the Buccaneers visit Carolina. The Dolphins host Cincinnati. They're making a quarterback change as Tua Tagovailoa is being benched, and rookie quarterback Quinn Ewers is going to take over as the starter on Sunday. This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
Holy moly, this hot tub is nice. I wonder if I can keep this one and take it back to the North Pole with me.
I really think we got to get you back on the sleigh, Santa. I don't think the Sandersons are going to appreciate the cookie crumbs floating in their hot tub when they wake up.
Okay, let's make a stop at Swain Pools and Spas and pick up a gift card from Mrs. Claus and put a big floating bow on it.
The perfect gift for Christmas this year is an amazing hot spring or Caldera spa from Swain Pools and Spas. Stop by today to get the best price in town with delivery and setup just in time for the new year. Visit Swain Pools and Spas on Tharp Street under the huge sign. Online at swainpools.com.
And right next to Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee Car Care. Stop in today for everything from an oil change and brake repair and tires to alignments and transmission, big or small. We do it all. It's Tallahassee Car Care, the only repair shop where you can take a dip while we repair your whip. Tallahassee Car Care, right next to Swain Pools and Spas.
Honey, what are these mushrooms in our yard? Portobello?
Huh. Let me take a look. Oh,
It's hockey.
I don't know, but our septic system is failing, and our whole yard smells like.
Should we try to cook these up and eat them tonight?
This is bad, Sheila.
Well, we better fix it soon, or we're going to be in deep.
Sheila, look. It's Crud Septic. Our prayers are answered.
Call Crud Septic Service today. Abouts, installs, repairs, crudseptic.com. That's crudseptic.com.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel-tip boards and soft-tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
folks that make up the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, Circuit 2, helping the kids, representing the kids is a better way of saying it, in Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty counties. We're up to, as we start this hour right now, $5,585 donated in hour one. I will add to that a $2,000 total that happened just before we went on the air that can't be calculated by the YouTube clicker there. So it's really $7,585 that we're at right now, which is tremendous. Every year we try to top the previous year. I don't know if it's possible. Some years obviously have been, major windfalls where we just sit back and awe, and others have been a little less so, but every penny helps. I can tell you that. We know that, and we're grateful for all of it. So we'll see if we can try to motor past the $19,000 or so that we raised a year ago, which was so moving for Tom and I. I know that. At the end of the show, we were just looking at each other in shock that, the community came together like that in that moment, and we hope to do it again. But again, I want to reiterate time and again that we just appreciate everybody. I can't get to everybody, but I do want to really quickly say thanks to Kurt, Evan, Garrett, Brandon, Troy, Spencer, Mark, Tara. Thinking you too, Hog Watcher, Steven, Nolgal, Big J, and so many others. I'll try to go back through as we go through all these. And
there was Noel Scout, Troy, Dana, a couple of folks that donated before the show started, and they don't appear in the chat anymore as a donation. So I screenshot a couple of those folks, but thank you very much to everybody. Kurt, if you didn't say Kurt as well.
I did.
I think he was before the show, so it might have still made the chat.
Kurt was the first one I mentioned.
So that's good. Sometimes when the thing fires up, it's like it resets the board, and you just go, "Oh no, I'm so sorry, we don't get to recognize you."
Well done, Grant. 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! That's beautiful. $5,585. I have a suspicion that in the next 30 minutes we'll be over $7,500. That's a suspicion.
Is that right?
That's what I suspect.
Is this kind of like Naughty to the Knowles level suspicion?
Wasn't that such a good one, man? I nailed the hell out of that one. I've nailed a few, but Naughty to the Knowles was one where I went out over my skis on that one because he was not projected by people who actually follow recruiting to go to the Knowles. I just felt it in my bones. I felt it down in the cockles.
It just seemed right.
It seemed right to me, and I went, Naughty to the Knowles is the right thing. By the way, Naughty's still playing and playing well in Kansas City. He's had himself a hell of a career, and he is a great representation of Florida State football players and Florida State in general, as he has not only gone on to win Super Bowls and play an integral role on that defensive line, but he's also saved a ton of dogs in that community who were in need of rescuing from shelters, kill shelters, and the like, and he's just an awesome dude. So we'll have to get Naughty on the show at some point.
That would be a good get. He's got some stories.
Yeah, he's got stories, and he's got game, and he's done well. And it's been cool. It's been cool to watch.
What's it like to be in that locker room in Kansas City over the last 10 years? I mean,
it's like winning, Tom.
Yeah.
That's what it is until this year. And we are happy. Sorry, Derek, but we're happy to see you bow out of the playoff run. We were ready. This is what happens anytime anybody's good for too long, unless it's our own. Then I enjoy the anger that is directed towards us. I got used to it in the 90s as an old. Everywhere you went, like Florida State, huh? Yep. We all strutted through the airports around this country with our gear on proudly. I would be proud anyhow, but especially when you're just dominating the sport, yes.
Did you just buy that from the airport gift shop, or are you actually a real fan? I'm sure that's the level it was.
Oh, it was incredible because you were in the national championship conversation every year for 14 consecutive years. And if you're not an O in that moment, you're going, okay, they're in it again. They've got another chance again. They're right there. Boy, that's getting old. It's kind of the way that we have felt about, I don't know, Alabama
Ohio
for
State.
Quite some time. And Tom's nemesis, Alabama.
If Ohio State loses 4 regular season games, I might throw my own party. And everybody's invited. I'm going to get a bunch of pizzas.
So will it be one of those things where they're on loss 3 for the year?
Yeah.
Like, and they have a game where they're like a 2-point favorite. You're like, do you know this could be their 4th
It's Michigan.
loss?
I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. And I will throw a party. I'll find the CP will host it, and I'll say, all right, here's a bar tab.
Yeah.
We're going to a certain, I will do it to a certain amount, like $500. The first people who can spend the $500 bar tab, you got it. Here's some free pizzas. Congratulations, Ohio State has lost 4 games.
Yeah, it would be hard if it was the one that, what was going to happen for that was Michigan to do the trick, given that Michigan is the dirtiest football program in America, and it's not close, and they should be ashamed of themselves and everything about them. But, hey, that's what that is.
That's a strong thought that you have there in Michigan.
Just pure. I don't even want to go down that road. It's embarrassing. Just go look and document across the board that athletic department. Shame.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shame.
Ohio State has had their moment in that level
but
of sun.
not like this.
Well, Urban's tenure anywhere is but it's not 25 years of Urban. They had players getting tattoos and selling their books back under Jim Tressel.
Which is nothing. Which we would say by all means, sir. Yeah, it's
the mistakes I've made are unfortunate.
Yeah,
said Jim Tressel.
Poor Jim. Hey, I didn't get a chance to congratulate you while I was trying to raise money here for the kids of the Guardian Ad Lot. I'm still trying to do that, gang. Let's get on it. Tell your friends. Pass out the word or pass the word. And let's see if we can't raise and get us over. We're approaching 6,000 here. Let's get 2. I'm excited about this. Congrats to you.
What did I do?
The New York Metropolitans have signed Luke Weaver.
Oh, geez. You're a funny guy.
What? They did.
I thought you were saying just traded for Tariq Skubal.
No.
Sign Kyle Tucker.
No. Florida State's own Luke Weaver is in the fold at Shea. I will always call it Shea, whether it's city or not.
I don't know that you have to pause the show for us signing Luke Weaver, Noel or not.
Hey.
But yes, we have another setup man, and he was pretty good for a big swath of the last 2 years. Now, he had some problems last year after a hamstring injury, but he was quite good for about a year and a half.
The 2025 campaign saw Luke Weaver post a 3.62.
That was an expected ERA of 3.05 or 3.02. Just pointing that out, too.
And 1.13 ERA plus. 64 appearances while striking out 72 batters, walking 20 in 64 and 2/3 innings. He was better in both 2023 and 2024 than he was last year. And so we'll see. Maybe you're getting that version of Luke Weaver. There was a conversation around Luke Weaver that I read this morning when I saw that news that he was tipping his pitches.
And it messed with his head.
Well, yeah, I think it would if you thought before you throw your pitch that the guy knew what was coming.
But apparently it messed with his head for weeks, that's the concerning part. At some point, we got to get over this, young man. Please. I get it. You were tipping your pitches. Your glove's fine.
Happens sometimes.
Right. You're bending from the waist fine now. You can go. Throw.
Yeah. Let's see. What are you going to do? Let's see if you can ride him. I love when Luke's on, when he's right.
He has some of the best chase rates in the bigs, as does Tevin Williams, who also was disappointing for the Yankees, and the Mets have now signed. Okay, we're bracing ourselves a little bit.
Why? I don't get the Williams.
Well, he's worth peanuts in terms of the contract we signed him for. It's $15 a year. That's nothing. So I think it's worth a shot. But both of those guys have a chase rate of over 30% on their breaking balls, which is good.
I want to get back to something. Somebody asked a question, and I've seen a lot of talk about this in the last couple of hours. When people are updating, it's a busy time. People are doing Christmas shopping. I'll ask that question. It's that time of year. Here you go. It's the 18th. 1 week from today, it's Christmas. 2 weeks from today, we will be celebrating New Year's, correct? Yes. So there you go. That's how fast this is all happening. So have you got all your shopping done? There you go. Instant stress. From me to you. I pass it along. Got it all done? Oh, you didn't? Better get on it. Goodness, Christmas is 1 week from today. But the other thing that people do when they're not stressing themselves out about whether or not they've taken care of those they love regarding Christmas is they check in. and they go, okay, what's happening with Florida State? Oh, Blue Adams. Okay. Austin Tucker, whoever the hell that is. Okay. That's what they do. And I'm playing the role of that casual guy who's just checking the warchant.com site there and going, okay. And they want to know if they reach out to me anyhow and they say, what are your thoughts on these hires? And my thoughts are, honestly, I'm not condemning the hires nor celebrating the hires because we can't know right now. And there are so many other things that I think about with Florida State that have to be righted and need to be operating at a higher level before I could really begin to judge some of these hires. And I also know, frankly, that there's not an elite name that is going to take a job on this staff given the upheaval and unsteady footing that the Florida State football program finds itself in. So this is not, objectively, I'm not saying, hey, screw FSU, I'm mad at you. I've said that a lot. I'm saying, like, if you are an upper crust assistant that has a great reputation for recruiting, like an elite level recruiter or a great X's and O's guy, it means you're probably currently employed in a very stable set of circumstances in which your program is operating at peak efficiency and you've got a chance to win games and acquire talent and operate at a high level and maybe make the college football playoff. If you are a program that is in transition and has struggled mightily, whose head coach is on tenuous footing, I think it's going to be very difficult to bring in coaches that would turn your head in a positive manner. So it's not negative of the fan base or for me or anybody to kind of meet these hires with anything more than some form of wait and see / indifference. Because you're not, I don't know, maybe Blue Adams does a good job. Maybe Austin Tucker will make the most of his opportunity. And maybe they'll have an impact in a positive way on the Florida State coaching staff and on the Florida State football program. But they're not huge names. They're not people that are going to wow you. They're not something that you're going to say, oh, man, how about that? We've turned the corner. And everybody wants to hear that. They want to hear a name that makes them go, oh, wow, surprised they were able to get him. Instead, when you hear the names, and again, this is not besmirching these two individuals. It's just that you go, oh, one's a hire from within and the other one's coming from Michigan State, and we'll see. It's what it is. You're not going to be like, wow, they got Blue Adams. You're not going to do it. And
I feel like that should be a bit. If we end up, every time we make a good play in the secondary, I'm going to clip that. Wow,
they got Blue Adams.
Remember when it all changed?
Yeah, that was the moment. Right now, about the only thing that will give you pause, that will make you, embrace, celebrate, escape the temporary fog that we live in as we just zombie-like look at each other as Knowles going, when's it going to end? Like, the only way that changes is if a name that is intending to enter the portal is a big one and is rumored to be heading to Florida State. That is going to be the only bit of news in the foreseeable future, with the portal opening on January 2nd.
And the people in the know saying, well, this one's going to be pretty much open and shut, everybody. We know where he's going.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you were to find out that a upper crust quarterback, a top tier left tackle, a dominant rush end, an elite linebacker, the things we don't have, if they were to put their name in the portal and be rumored to be headed to Florida State, you'd get that. You'd get all the Florida State fans and me and you and everybody else that covers the team going, oh, how about that? Jeez, that's like real news. That's a big deal. But I don't expect that, A. B, the way I view their efforts to shake up the staff right now is that they're kind of behind the eight ball because Mike is not on stable footing. And this isn't a place where if you're one of those better assistants that you're going to tell your agent, yeah, get me to Florida State. You're not going to say that. I wish you would. I wish it were different, of course, but it's not right now. Most people are going to say, hey, they could fire him at the end of this next year. And then where am I at? What am I supposed to do? I've got a good situation here. I've got 3 other job offers, all of which look like they're, solid, and changes aren't going to be made anytime soon. And the way you have to compensate for the position you find yourself in is overpay. Pay in such a way that it doesn't appear we can afford to do right now, or don't want to do is the better way of saying that. They could afford to do it, but they don't want to do it. They've made that abundantly clear that they don't want to spend an awful lot of money on the football program right now. And so, and again, that doesn't mean that they don't have the means to sign some big name players and some transfers in the portal that can help out next year. It just means that I don't think they're rushing out to spend multi-million dollars on assistant coaches above and beyond what they would fetch anywhere else, and then give them 3 and 4 years on that contract the way they did with Gus.
Well, that's where you're just looking from a coordinator perspective. If they had replaced one this year, I think everybody would look very closely at the term and the amount of money they pay the coordinator, because in this instance, coming off of 5-7 after 2-10, I think the fan base would rightfully look at that particular time and say, is that our next head coach? Did we just hire our next head coach independent of Mike? But obviously neither coordinator was replaced this year. So that is why we are where we are, which is double limbo. Coordinators and coach. There's not even that guy on the staff where you say, well, if it all falls apart, they're just going to elevate him. You don't have that right now.
I just saw why your eyebrows raised.
Yeah, that's why I was doing the flag motion. Yeah.
I needed to finish my point, Tom.
That's fair. I figured as I started to make my point, you'd check in on such things.
Not because I didn't care what you had to say, but I wanted to know why you were waving. Yep. And so I thought, did I miss something? Are we off the air? Did I offend somebody, which I wouldn't care about? But I was kind of curious. And then I thought, where are we? And then I checked. And I see that it's Brime time, Noel, isn't it?
It is. Jonathan Brimer.
I had a suspicion when I saw the number that it was Brime time, Noel. You call him Jonathan Brimer. I call him Brime time.
Coach Prime?
When I see him out and about, I say, what's up, Brime time? He's always a little sheepish when I do it in public. But nonetheless, thank you, good sir. And that is incredible. We are now, thanks to all of you, including Brime Time, over $10,780 in, and we are only in hour 2. The goal is within reach. Our goal to surpass the $19,000 raised a year ago is within reach, thanks to all of your donations. Now, we've got some heavy lifting to do in the next hour and a half, but we can do it. I'm sure of it. And that is a shot in the arm. Should be noted.
Was Brime Time your feeling, your gut feeling, the naughty to the Knowles?
He was not. I just knew somebody was about to step in and say, hey, let's give that shot in the arm. Let's be the catalyst. Let's be the reason.
For the season.
Let's get 2. And it happened. It happened. Somebody else will step in here soon and do something similar, because kindness is all around us. And it can happen. And people like to. Deep down, they want to help if they can. I know they do. I've seen it every year. And we're going to hope that continues as we move forward. But I will tell you, the $10,780 raised so far, which is awesome, is actually $12,780, because we had $2,000 donated just before we came on that cannot be registered by the YouTube donate button. So we're at $12,780, which means we are very close to that $19,000. And I think we're going to get there. We may surpass that by a long shot, Tom. We may be like, well, good Lord, how are we going to beat this next year? There's no chance. I want to keep having that conversation.
Yeah, still. I feel like last year's goal or last year's achievement, thanks to everybody, is still very tough to beat.
We're going to beat it.
I like your enthusiasm and
You're doubting. You're a doubting Thomas.
I knew you'd get there. It occurred to you when he said doubting. Wait a minute. This one's on a tee.
I want to... Poor Thomas. I
think it was pretty reasonable what Thomas was saying.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are we really doing here?
My man Shannon Young, go. You talk about charitable. You talk about diehard Noel and really good at his job. He's all of those things. Shannon Young, loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com. He's with Cross Country Mortgage, and he's awesome. Does great work, gets it done. We've had a slew of people in the last month reach out to Shannon because they heard the conversation and the superlatives handed out by me towards Shannon and thought, I'll give him a ring. Let's see if he's as good as Jeff says he is. And he has been. His unwavering commitment to his fellow Knowles and all of those looking for the best loan options to buy their new home. That's what he's done. Stronger support, better options, faster response. He does it in 7 different states these days: Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Texas, and the Carolinas. That'll work. You know, it's funny. Shannon's always working, right? He's always working, always working. He bought some of those glasses that these Meta glasses, I guess they are, right? These glasses you throw on and you can have conversations with people, but you look crazy when you're doing it. Yes. Because you got the glasses on and you can, and the whole thing, you're going back and forth.
Or just a Weezer concert?
Yeah. Or you're in a meeting, and you can actually be in the meeting as you're walking about with your sunglasses on, but you can see the people and you're talking to them and you look crazy. That's him. Not in Publix or anything like that. By the way, if you're in Publix, get off the speaker. But there you go. That's the whole, and he does it. And he does it well. Loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air, online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hi, this is Gary from Budget Blinds of Tallahassee, Gaston, Wakulla, and Franklin counties. As the year comes to an end, we want to take a moment to say thank you to all of our wonderful customers for trusting us to help you with all of your window covering needs. Your support means the world to us, and we're so grateful to be part of this amazing community. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. May your holiday season be filled with joy, love, and warm memories. Budget Blinds of Tallahassee, Gaston, Wakulla, and Franklin counties, we thank you for letting us be part of your story.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks, we fix those dark leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
I got some pretty spooky news from my Paul's termite and pest control technician the other day. It turns out that I'm sharing my home with Formosan termites. Those little monsters do damage about 4 times faster than the regular termites. Fortunately, Paul's discovered them on a routine general pest service, and they've already turned the Formosans back using an amazing treatment called Centricon.
Paul's was the first to introduce the Centricon termite colony elimination system to North Florida and is the leader in this non-invasive treatment. Instead of dumping gallons and gallons of harsh chemicals into our soil, Centricon uses environmentally sensitive treatments loaded in bait stations. These stations are placed around the home. Termites are present, they feed, and take it back to the colony, which is then destroyed. To learn more about Centricon and a free consultation, go to callpauls.com for the elimination of termite or any other pest.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Want to have some fun? Well, first, let me update everybody where we're at. We are at $10,850 raised since the start of the show today via the YouTube. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that have donated. It means the world. It is helping. We promise you it is. Every penny of what you donate goes directly to our friends at the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Circuit 2. And it's a joy every year to sit here and watch this happen, to see these numbers pile up. And again, just to remind you, every penny going to the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, Circuit 2, they represent the kids of Leon, Wacoa, Gaston, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty counties. This money will enable them, and they'll come and pick it up today, and obviously it goes directly in for your donations, but what we get at the bowling alley later tonight at 7 o'clock at Capitol Lanes, and I do want to thank everybody at Capitol Lanes. Diana and her staff do a great job, and they're always kind enough to host, even when yours truly, the host, is late in reaching out to her in order to secure the venue. She's like, man, you got to ask me when it's not 6 days out, Jeff. But she was able to accommodate. So we'll be out there tonight, and a lot of you will swing by and donate gift cards and toys that they will collect along with the money that we raise here today. And they will then go out and purchase gifts for the kids that are in these sets of circumstances that are, in some cases, just untenable and unthinkable. And they'll also be able to provide for a lot of the older kids too. And this is why we talk a lot about the gift cards. It's kind of it's kind of translated differently over the years from where we first started, where we were getting like dolls and baseball mitts and things like that for kids. And then it came to our attention that many of the kids were 14, 15, 16, 17 years old without anybody there to help them outside of the folks at the Guardian Ad Litem who became their advocates. And those kids probably didn't have a need for a Stretch Armstrong. Although who doesn't want a Stretch Armstrong?
I never got one, and it always bugged me.
Dated reference, I know. But yeah, they could use something like a Best Buy gift card or a Target gift card or a Walmart gift card or wherever the hell you want to get. But so that's kind of how that went. And so we do both. We do all of it. And it's awesome. It is truly awesome. And yeah, it always touches me. $10,905. Losing my voice for whatever reason as the show goes on.
I could tell you, if you want to collect that voice, that in the chat right now, if you're watching, I put a link to the Guardian Ad Litem's homepage, which will guide you through everything about what they do, from mission statement to how they serve the community. This is the Second Circuit specifically that we are supporting, but the link I put in the chat right now is for the Guardian Ad Litem as a total organization. And it's one that is absolutely worth looking into what they do, because as you read more and more about the programs and services that they provide, the more you understand about how critical they are to the people that they help. And these are young people that really need everybody's help. So thank you. And it looks like another $1,000 just came in.
Whoa.
We're pushing 12. It's $11,910.
Yep. And we'll add the 2,000 that came in just before we started totaling here. And how about that? That's 13,910. Good stuff. Okay. This is fun to do. I'm going to apologize in advance to Miami Dolphins fans.
They've become a regular character on the show of late.
Well, I mean, that's what they've done to themselves, but we've watched it all play out over the course of the last 3 days, and we've had a conversation about it, which was that I told you after we watched that Dolphins game the other night that what I saw was a shot quarterback, that Tua is a shell of himself and can't get the ball down the field, and the whole thing is, just pitiful. And I wondered, because we talked a lot about the $99+ million dead money cap hit, and you could spread it out 2/3 1 year, 1/3 the next year. You could split it half and half. You could do it however you wanted to do it. But it seemed to me that they were in a quandary here where they were going to have to walk. They were going to have to leave Tua behind and move forward. And to do so was going to be incredibly costly because that contract is unreal. And so they find themselves in a less than desirable place. They'll eat $99 million in dead cap if they release him right after the year ends. The number drops to $45 million if they were able to trade him. I said nobody would be a suitor. Shot arm, I theorized, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I think it's the hip injury. I don't think he's ever really fully healthy. And I think it seems to me that it's degenerative, if I could speak, because his ability to throw the deep ball, which was once very, very good, is now nil. You can't do it. Can't do it. You check down Charlie now, and it's just ugly.
It went from legit to he has to anticipate to put it on the spot on the map to
Oh, yeah, God forbid when it gets cold and rainy and there's somewhere, he's got no chance. So right after we had that conversation, the question was asked of McDaniel, and he was originally asked after that game about the performance from Tua, and he said he was disappointed. And then he was asked for further clarification, and later somebody asked him whether or not they would actually think about starting Zach Wilson. God, no. Or Quinn Ewers. And he said everything was on the table. Well, and away we go. They announced they're benching him, which once you do that, I think you're basically telling everybody you plan to move on at some point in the very near future. So what did that prompt me to do? Not revel in the Dolphins' misfortune. No. But instead, I got rather curious. I thought, since Dan Marino retired, how many different starting quarterbacks have the Miami Dolphins had?
Oh, wow.
None of whom we know have won a playoff game. Are you ready?
Do I get a crack at this?
Well, you can't name them.
No.
You want the total?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go ahead. I'll give you a crack at it. Since 2000, so since 2000 when Marino retired.
Mm-hmm.
So here you go.
Yeah, Chad Pennington had a couple of years in there. I'm trying to think of guys that ate up a couple of seasons beyond Tua. There have been a few. Tannehill. So let's go 19.
25 is the answer.
Damn it. All right.
Let's go down memory lane together, everybody.
Pat White's in there.
Let's have some fun with it. I'm going to give you some names that you forgot ever played in the National Football League. Some names that are going to require you to go, oh, my God, that's right.
Can I do one more?
Sure.
Chad Henne.
Mm-hmm.
All right, two. Jay Fiedler.
Yeah. You keep going. It's fun. When you do it, though, when you have fun with it, you go, oh, my Lord, these poor bastards. This morning, when I pulled up the list, I chuckled at first as I went through the names, and I was putting them on a Word document so I'd have them today. And I was kind of, oh, look at that. That's right. He did.
Matt Moore?
Yeah. Well, we liked him, right?
We did. Yeah.
But anyhow, I went through the names, and then as I did it, I went, it just got depressing after a while. Like, you got to about 18 names. You're like, ooh, I forgot about him. But you know what you end up doing as a football fan is you look at these names and you challenge yourself to remember where they played college,
mm-hmm.
and then how many other teams they played for, either before they got to the Dolphins or after they left the Dolphins.
And the most infamous one has to be Dante Culpepper, because that could have been Drew Brees.
Yeah, well, 4 games is how many games Dante Culpepper played.
Yeah. Well, my show contributor Chris remembers one of them against Pittsburgh to open the season.
So here we go. A trek down memory lane for all of you to think about where we're at with the Miami Dolphins. The other thing I want to say about this, because I'm old, I don't feel old, but I am old, and I realize that in moments like this, when we're going down memory lane in the list of quarterbacks, I'll do you one better. I can remember pre-Dan Marino, and I can remember Woodley, Don Strock, Greasy, more. Yeah, I can remember these guys prior to Marino. Ooh.
There is no pre-Marino in my lifetime.
You don't know of a pre-Marino.
I grew up with Marino. He was an Ace Ventura.
Yes. You don't remember Strock and Woodley.
No.
You don't remember Greasy?
I remember
Senior?
Well, I mean, of course, in the booth, but I remember Isotoners. Nice. From Ace Ventura.
But here is the list, and it is a fun one, and we'll have fun together. Let's start with Jay Fiedler. 62 games under center for the Dolphins, and one could argue the best post-Marino quarterback they had. Damon Heward.
Damon Heward.
Oh,
my Lord.
16 games for the Miami Dolphins.
Testaverde next? Who's next?
Ray Lucas. Ray effing Lucas. 17 games played. These are just games played, not games started per se. Games played. Sage Rosenfels. 13 games played for the Miami Dolphins. Brian Greasy. Just the 5 games played.
Was Rosenfels the starter for that game that you called weeks out against Baltimore? I'll look that up. Their first win of the season.
When I predicted that they would win?
Yeah, it's the same day that Michael Spurlock returned the kickoff for the Bucs.
Yeah, old Sage, by the way, was 6'4", 225 pounds. Had himself more than a cup of coffee in the National Football League.
Oh, no, it's another name, and I'll flag it when you name it. It's not Rosenfels. Oh, my word.
Brian Greasy, A.J. Feely.
I don't remember him.
I remember A.J. Feely.
I know Jay Feely, the kicker.
A.J. Feely. Gus Frerotte. Oh, good old Gus Frerotte. 16 games. Dante Culpepper. Joey Harrington.
I forgot they got Joey after Detroit.
Scrap heaps. Bunch of scrap heaps. Here's the name that you're going to go, are you kidding me? Cleo Lemon, everybody.
That was the starter for the winless Dolphins who beat the Ravens.
Cleo Lemon.
What a name.
John Beck. Anybody?
Utah, right?
Anybody know John Beck?
Did he go to Utah?
John Beck sounds like the guy that led the Mormons.
He went to BYU. Thank you very much.
Like you say, John Beck, follow me through the mountains.
He went 40th overall. He was good in college.
Trent Green.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Chad Henne. Chad Henne, 36 games.
Yeah, they fell in love with him. They had the Wildcat cooking, and then they got in the way of the Wildcat by starting Chad Henne.
Chad Pennington. Noodle arm.
Yeah.
They had success, though. He actually played pretty well before he got
division.
hurt. Well, yeah, he threw for over 4,000 yards for them.
Or if they didn't win the division, they lost to Baltimore in the playoffs with Pennington as the quarterback.
But, hold on. I think if I remember this correctly, he got them to the playoffs but didn't start the playoff game because he got hurt.
Oh, that could be.
That's right.
That was the year that New England won 11 games and didn't make the playoffs.
Matt Castle?
Matt Castle.
Yeah. Tyler Thigpen. Ooh, Tyler Thigpen. Everybody's favorite era is coming up next. These next two gentlemen. Boy, lean times in Miami in the moment. Pat White, followed by J.P. Losman.
J.P. Losman. Didn't Kuiper love him?
I'm sure.
I feel like Kuiper loved J.P. Losman.
J.P. Losman. Matt Moore, Tom's favorite.
Yep.
Loved him some Matt Moore.
Pat White was one game, wasn't he? One or two?
He played in 13 games for him.
He started when he got hurt running along because they were trying to run the Wildcat with him as the proper quarterback.
Yeah, no, didn't work out. We're coming up on after Matt Moore. you could make a good case for the most successful quarterback since Marino. And that includes Tua, although Tua's numbers are better than the next guy's numbers that I'm about to name. But if I were drafting out of the two, based on the knowledge we have, I think I would take this guy over Tua right now. You ready? Ryan Tannehill, who had his moments. Tannehill could play a little bit. A little bit.
I believe your mom referred to him as Tannenbaum.
I think she did at some point.
So we called him the Christmas tree for a little bit.
Yeah. Ryan Tannehill. There was the cup of coffee we all forgot about Jay Cutler had right after his divorce.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wanted to go to Miami and bang. Yeah,
Hey, whoa.
that was what Jay was doing.
Charity
He
show.
was. I don't remember this next guy. Do you? David Fales?
David Fales?
I mean, Fales?
No,
I don't
it's Fales.
I don't remember him. Do you remember him?
No. That had to be like December. Season was over. They
Was that
stuffed him in
like
there.
somebody out of the stands won a contest and they threw him out there? I mean, who the hell is David? I've never even heard of him.
Say fans.
Brock Osweiler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't you sleep on that Brock Osweiler era.
His most famous moment is him losing his mind when Peyton Manning trots off the sidelines in Denver for another drive in garbage time.
What? I can't,
And Brock chucks his helmet.
I can't get in the game. Then there's the Magic Man, Ryan Fitzpatrick. You forgot. Fitzy pretty much started for everybody in the league at some point.
And had a good run for everybody.
He did. He was a very, very good backup who was thrust into a starter's role several times and could get you by, but was not somebody you wanted starting for the entire season. Ooh, then it gets ugly.
What is as if it hasn't? I think Tyler Thigpen and Cleo Lemon's pretty ugly.
Josh Rosen.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rosen said on draft day that he was going to make the league pay for every team that went and drafted somebody ahead of him.
He thought he was Aaron Rodgers.
He did. Wasn't there something weird with Rosen in a hot tub?
If it was him, he had it in his dorm room.
That's what it was. It was Josh Rosen had a hot tub in his dorm room, and I remember thinking, that probably isn't good. I don't know why, but I felt like that's not good. That seems a little pampered to me.
Pampered, or that water is terribly discusting for any number of reasons.
Just unsavory, everything about it.
Dorm room water in the first
Who the
place.
hell's jumping in Josh Rosen's hot tub? Hookers. That's it. That's it. And that's because they're paid.
There's a teddy bear and a Christmas tree on the screen for today's show.
I'm just saying. And finally, Tua. And I shouldn't say finally Tua because it's Tua followed by Quinn Ewers, who will start this week.
That was really fun.
Trip down memory lane with some names, and you just realize, man, how hard it is to get a freaking quarterback, or at least for the Dolphins.
If you're an NFL fan, you've seen the montage of the Cleveland quarterbacks for a long, long time.
Like the jersey with all the names.
Yeah, you're very familiar with that discussion. But the Dolphins one, that was a true memory maker or remaker. It opened up some doors that we forgot we ever walked through. Pretty cool.
We are at $12,260, and for that we celebrate. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful thing. Let's keep it rolling. We are really doing some good things here. That number is actually total $14,260 because of the 2,000 we got before we started. Oh, thank you so much, man. Let's just see if we can surpass that 19. We are getting so close. This is so it's amazing. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Call TPD at 850-891-4200 or Crime Solvers at 850-574-TIPS to remain anonymous. This is Rachel Lene with your Old Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 66. Winds out of the southeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight. Chance of thunderstorms. Lows level out around 56. Mainly clear tomorrow, 65. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Life doesn't slow down after 55. It just changes. The moments may look different, but they matter just as much. Maybe you're celebrating family milestones or taking that trip you've always promised yourself. At Capital Health Plan Center for Healthy Aging, your My Vitality plan helps you stay ready for it all with personalized care and support built around what matters most to you. Because there's still so much ahead. Call 850-399-9039 to learn more.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, I never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood. Oh, good days. So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played. Kind of like the bikes we built. Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played. But
And you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
12,300, the number we're at right now. We've got another hour of the program to go. We are doing some things, and thank you. I celebrate all of you. We appreciate you greatly. This is very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. And again, thanks to each and every one of you who has donated today. I'll go back through and mention some names again next hour. I did it earlier in the show. It's tough to keep up with, but we have it, and we appreciate it. And I assure you, we've looked at it, and we smiled every time one of those donations have come in. And moreover, I keep looking at that total going, I think we can get there. I think we can do it.
As I recall, last year, I think it shows in we might have been at 15 or 16.
And then somebody jumped in.
But because the donate link is still active, people watched on demand, or they heard us on the pod and found it. So that's how we got to 19 before it was all said and done. So we're on an excellent pace this year, and it's never assumed. That's the one thing.
No.
It's never assumed, and it's wonderful. These folks really need the help, so it's very cool of everybody.
Yeah, again, that's if you're just joining us, just jumping in the car, maybe you're getting off work and you're listening. I do realize it's about that time of day. We do this show every year in order to raise money to help the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation. In particular, they benefit the children in Circuit 2, which are Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty counties. And they're always looking for mentors and volunteers and all of that, but they also need your help around this time of year. The holiday season's tough on these kids who are in untenable situations. Many of them would not have a Christmas without our help. This is what that is enabling us to do. They will be able to buy Christmas presents for these kids who wouldn't be getting them, and get things that they need too. I mean, you're talking about, clothes in some circumstances. So things like that, it is just an amazing gift that you're giving. I can't thank you enough. Because we got to 19,000 last year, we're trying to surpass it this year. It's a modest goal, but it's certainly appreciated. As we sit here at 12,300, that's pretty amazing. So I think we're going to get there. I do. I believe that third hour is going to be huge. As people get off work, they're going to be ready to donate and hop on in.
It's also advocacy services, legal and otherwise.
Oh, yeah,
for
that's
these kids
the,
too.
that's the meat and potatoes.
I really recommend, even if you're listening right now on the podcast and you didn't see that link that I put in the chat, Just look up the Guardian Ad Litem and see what they do. Explore the website. Spend 2 minutes on that website, and you'll go, oh, these people are for real. They are. They are.
Very much so. Very much so. We also noted that there's the need to do a regular radio show on this day, and it is Redemption Thursday, and I had my wagers that I posted earlier in the program in hour one. Tom just posted them again with a little Pay Me Martha. Plenty of bets, including 3 different same-game parlays for Rams and Seahawks tonight. Stafford over 1.5 touchdowns, alt-passing touchdowns. Darnold over 1 alt-passing TDs. That's good for plus 125 when you combine them. Same-game parlay, Kyron Williams anytime touchdown mixed with Jackson Smith and Jigba anytime touchdown. That's at plus 260 at the time I did it. Kyron Williams over 14.5 yards rushing in the first quarter. Puka Nacua over 10 yards receiving in the first quarter. Jackson Smith and Jigba, again, 10-plus receiving yards in the first quarter. Combine those 3, you get that at plus 350. I took the over in the Miami-Texas A&M game. That over total is 48.5. Tulane versus Ole Miss. I took Ole Miss over there. Team total 36.5 at minus 120. And then I took Oregon minus 21, just the spread, minus 105 versus James Madison. I'll probably have some others on tomorrow's show, but that's where we stood today on a Redemption Thursday, and I feel pretty good about those. Well, you guys know I like to put together the same game parlay. There's one Mac Daddy that you could do, but I didn't put it on the list, and I might do it.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I've been known.
You'll tell me when we're at the bowling lane. It's like, I just did it. The Mac Daddy's in.
I do one Mac Daddy every. You know what I do? I do 2 things, and I've hit on one of them this year, and damn close on the other. And you would have really known about it had I hit on the other. But I bet every NFL. I take one parlay, and bet every NFL game. I just pick the winner, and I go every game. Boop 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 boop. I hit that once this year. I had a perfect week.
Okay.
Had a perfect week, just money line winners. Boom, 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 boom. And that always equates to a very big plus number. I don't care if you've got a couple of minus 900s in there. If you're going to have to go perfect, you're going to get a huge
number. Yeah, that's
number.
the old school weekend office pool.
Yeah. Just pick the winners. I did that earlier this year and hit. And then there's been a couple that I came very, very close at. Final hour forthcoming. We've got another time to give. Stay with.
Don't risk falling off that ladder. Let the pros handle it at Gutter Solutions of Tallahassee. If there's one thing your home desperately wants on its Christmas wish list this year, it's healthy, protected gutters. Because nothing spoils holiday cheer like overflowing gutters, roof leaks, or water damage right before the new year. And with more winter rain on the way, now's the perfect time to make sure your home is ready. Call Gutter Solutions of Tallahassee. We provide seamless gutter installation, expert repairs, professional cleaning, and premium gutter guards, all designed to keep your home protected so you can enjoy the season stress-free. No ladders, no mess, no mid-holiday emergencies. Plus, the year-end is the best time to schedule service. Avoid the spring rush, protect your home before the rainy season returns, and start the new year off with one less thing to worry about. Give your home the gift that lasts. Reliable gutters from a trusted local team. Gutter Solutions of Tallahassee. With us, it's personal.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Craving something different? Discover the bold and surprising flavors of Peru at Café de Martín. From sizzling lomo saltado to savory handmade empanadas, every dish is made with heart, history, and soul. Crafted by classically trained Chef Martín himself. It's not just food. It's a trip to Peru without the plane ticket. Swing by Café de Martín today and taste the tradition. Café de Martín, authentic Peruvian, right around the corner.
Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, got to get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend, Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachie Parkway, just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
WVFT Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. More of the Jeff Cameron Show is coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
College basketball coming up tonight. It's North Florida, 10.5-point underdog at Charleston Southern at the Buccaneer Fieldhouse in Charleston, South Carolina. The total 160.5. Tampa Bay Lightning laying $1.92 at home against the LA Kings, plus 160, 5.5 over the total. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road to the Denver Broncos Sunday as 3-point underdogs, 46.5 the total. Tampa Bay and Carolina battle for first place in the NFC South. Buccaneers laying 3 at Carolina, 45.5 the total. Thursday night football today, Seahawks a 1.5 home favorite against the Rams. Score $500 in rewards with the G-Bank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wines and beers all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Price so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This time of year, we enjoy spending time outdoors in this beautiful North Florida climate until the mosquito attack begins.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control can help you take your yard back. We have an affordable program to help keep mosquitoes away, and our program even helps with other pests like ticks.
Mosquitoes are a nuisance to you, and by carrying diseases such as heartworms,
look at these hollow socks. See this? Hollow socks. These are the boot cut. This is the boot cut hollow sock right here. I will tell you, I took these out of the package because I'm going to wear them later. They're not the boot cut. These are alpaca, something to do with alpaca's performance socks. I've got these hollow socks that they sent me. Let me tell you something right now. I don't say yes to all the endorsements. I don't. But when Tom told me that Hollow Socks wanted to send me some socks, the boot cut, I got the compression sock, I've got the everyday active sock. I've got all the different kinds of socks. I'm not an expert on socks. All I asked Tom was, are these fine folks that are sending me socks, hollow socks, are they comfortable? Are these good socks? And he said, well, I don't know, but they're going to send them to you and you get to try them. And if you don't want to talk about them, then we'll say no. But if you like the socks, then make sure you talk about them. So I'm talking about them because I love them. They're comfortable. They're great. I wore a pair on Monday to work out. That's the true test. When I work out, I got to have comfortable socks. You can't be out there sweating in uncomfortable socks or having them feel weird in your shoe. Not only they did not feel weird in my shoe, they felt great. They felt comfortable. They felt supportive. They felt like I should be working out in them. They're really, really good socks. And I think most of you watching this are like, all right, I like a good pair of socks. Socks are underrated. I mean, I know people who spend all kinds of money on socks, and at the end of the day, you really can't tell the difference. I could tell the difference with these socks. I like them. That's why I showed them off to the camera. I think you'll like them too. They've got socks for camping. They've got socks for hiking. They've got socks for hunting. Hunting's not my cup of tea, but if I were hunting, I'd like these big old thick long ones that go to your knee, right? Especially when it's cold outside. They've sold over 2 million pairs of socks. So a lot of people are just like me saying, I'm down with the socks. I like the everyday socks and the compression socks. Those are my two favorite. For a limited time, Hollow Socks is having a buy two, get two free sale. Head to hollowsocks.com today to check it out. Hollowsocks.com for up to 50% off your order. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and you can support the Jeff Cameron Show by saying, I heard about the Hollow Socks on the Jeff Cameron Show. Look at that. Do it. Go to hollowsocks.com. Get you some Hollow Socks. Get those alpacas. They're good. Providing a Christmas they wouldn't otherwise have, an opportunity, and you guys seize it every year, and for that, I'm forever thankful. Again, to reiterate, for those of you just jumping in the car, perhaps, if you donate via the YouTube feed right now, you'll see there's a button there. You click on that. 100% of what you donate goes to the Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, Circuit 2. That's the children that they represent. The counties are Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty. And you should be good to go. Give it a go. A couple people said they had a tough time trying to do it. They're going to go back and try to do it. By what I can tell, it's working just fine. So get after it if you can. We're trying to get to 19,000. We're at 12,350. In truth, it's 14,350 because we had 2,000 donated before the show began, and that could not be tallied by the YouTube donate button. So we are really close. We are really close to surpassing the 19,000 that we were able to raise a year ago. And, you know, I don't know if that's a reasonable goal every year to try to beat that, but I want to. And I know that these kids are the ones that benefit greatly, and we've seen the work that they do at the Guardian Ad Litem, and because of that, I figure we'll throw those lofty goals out there, and if we beat it, we'll try to beat whatever this year's total is. And maybe we get, just in donations on this show, maybe we get over 20,000, because last year we did when you tally up what you got at the bowling alley as well, which later tonight. Thanks again to Capital Lanes for hosting us this evening. Should be a blast. I look forward to it. We'll see, Tom. You and I have yet to surpass 200 on any of those lanes. Could tonight be the night?
Man, oh man, have we come close over the years. We've had many years to try, but we don't hardly ever bowl between this event.
So it's never.
Like never. I think the amount of games that I've bowled or times that I've bowled between the events might number 4 or 5. And I've been doing this with you guys. Now, you've been over 20 years at this, right? For me, this is probably year 15 or year 16 of doing the tournament.
A long time. I go back to Marvin Overby when he was the bowling coach at Florida State. He was listening to me do the show in the morning. So, Tom, I did mornings 26, 27 years ago. And so we did it as a joke. This is how this all started, by the way. I don't know if everybody knows this story. And rest in peace, Coach Overby. Matt Millar, I think I was a few years in, so this would have been like 23 years ago, 24 years ago, whatever it would have been. And Matt Millar was producing the show, and I was making fun of the fact that past weekend, it was a Monday show. I remember that because that past weekend I was flipping the channels around on a Sunday, and bowling was on. You remember when you'd flip around and you'd find bowling on? You still can.
It came on right after NFL pregame shows on ESPN at 1 o'clock.
Ridiculous, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, in the process, I couldn't help. I was glued to it. I couldn't help but watch the broadcast because I thought, imagine having to do play-by-play in color for bowling.
Gary Thorne was on the call often.
Back in the day, yeah. And so I was like, I thought, man, that's a tough gig. You'd have to actually love to bowl, like to know a lot about it, right? I know what everybody else knows about bowling. You know, it's like, I wish I could do the spinny-to-do thing. I know that the reason that oftentimes you have more than one bowling ball is because they're different weights and different, the oil and all that stuff. And they're, some are to pick up a spare. They're the more accurate ball. Some are the first ball you throw, it's a heavier ball, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know anything about bowling. I don't know anything about what would be insight to a bowling broadcast. So I was watching that. But in an effort to spruce it up, they had intro music. And just like when the bowls were announced, they had a guy who was an over-the-top PA, now from St. Petersburg, Florida. And they would go and they would announce the bowler, and he was coming out in smoke and then waving to the 17 fans in attendance and holding up his bowling bag. And it was ridiculous. And I couldn't believe it. I was laughing. And we started talking about it, and I thought, well, this is incredible. And Marvin Overby, who was the Florida State bowling coach at the time, was listening to me on his way in at FSU. And I guess he had made a habit of listening to the show, and he reached out and called, and Matt Millar answered, and he was like, look, I'm the bowling coach. I can show you guys how to bowl. And we were talking about doing that for charity. We should be like, we'll just bowl for charity. It's fun as hell. And, I used to, when I was at FSU, I used to bowl in the Union all the time and loved it. Just go over there all the time. And so he invited us out, and we had our first ever charity bowling tournament, and that was a long, over 20 years ago. And we've been doing it ever since. Now, back then, we didn't always, it wasn't always for the Guardian Litem. That came later on. It used to kind of bounce around different charities, whatever it might be. But the Guardian Litem thing happened because before I ever began a broadcasting career, I had a lot of jobs, but one of them, while I was in school, was working for ACHS, Appalachian Center for Human Services. I worked at a facility called Water Oak. I ended up being a counselor, independent living program, and I saw the kids in those facilities and knew their stories and knew the difficulty of their lives and the things they'd been through. And I remember thinking, if I'm ever in a position to do more than just be a counselor here and maybe help these kids, then we should try to do it. And so you get this medium, you get this opportunity to express what those kids need, and you figure you should do it. So it's an easy decision because I saw kids who were in, dire straits, terrible situations, just awful stuff. And so, that's how we ended up doing that. Because when I found out that that's what the Guardian Ad Litem did, was represent these kids who did not have role models, or in some case, dependable parents, father figures, mothers, uncles, to help them in their lives, who were kind of on their own, most of them destitute, most of them without good examples of how to problem solve and deal with situations that everybody deals with in life. And, I thought that we should do that. And that's kind of how we ended up doing it. And and now I realize, and I'll just tell you guys this now, because I thought about this week, because people have always shown up when we've done these kinds of shows, and the show has grown to be able to reach more people. Back in the day, it was strictly terrestrial radio, and you just had whatever your radio audience was at the time that you began to tell people about it. You couldn't even stream radio back then. That's how long I've been on the air. There wasn't a means by which to stream radio on the computer when I started. Now, that happened not too long after, but even then it was kind of spotty, and not everybody was down with the technology. So you were talking to Tallahassee, and that's about it. You weren't talking to people in other states. You weren't talking to people in other cities. You were talking to people however far your signal went out. And I was on an AM radio station. So that'll let you know. But it grew, and then you could stream, and then you do have multimedia. And you could find a way to reach out to people all over the country. And so when that started to happen, we saw the numbers grow, we saw the commitment grow, and the people jumped on board. And so now I realize, I think we're only scratching the surface. I don't want to be lazy with this. I feel like we can do so much more. I'm a little bashful about reaching out to people and asking them for money. I don't mind doing it when it's for a charity I don't mind doing it at all when it's for a good cause. When we have the golf tournaments, it doesn't bother me to ask people to pay good money to be in those golf tournaments because it's all going to charity. It's awesome. And like, we get to help people. The Second Harvest of the Big Ben is awesome.
Also, speaking as a golfer, stepping outside of our responsibilities, that tournament whoops ass.
That's awesome.
It moves. Everything's free in terms of the beer. You can do add-ons if you want, but like in terms of your food and the beer and the booze, you're going to be well taken care of that day. It's a good day. It's a good value.
So because of that, and we're going to be doing that again this year. And hell, we've got some people like our friends at Tried and True Consulting who are awesome, who have said, hey, you should have 2 of these a year. We'll be a sponsor for another one if you want to open it up. And I'm in on that kind of stuff. I mean, that's where I was going, though, Tom, is I think we're just scratching the surface. I think we got to get a bunch of corporate people involved here and let them lend their sizable bank accounts to charitable causes. And we can probably do that next. But it has never been lost on me, ever, what it means for all of the folks, whether it's $1 or $10,000 or whatever it might be, that is about the community, about people coming together, about people helping people, in this case, helping kids. And so I don't know. I certainly haven't named everybody just yet, but Troy Noel, thank you so much. Rebecca, thank you. Darian Lewis, Wahoo, Spartan, Noel, Kev. I named a bunch of people in the last couple of hours. If I haven't named you, it's not because I don't care. It's not, I don't have everybody's name before me, but that's what we're doing there. We're trying to get everybody out there and just shouting out everybody. We're at 13,620. I'd like to get to 19,000. In truth, the total is at 15,620. And again, that's because we got 2,000 just before we came on the air that we could not add to the total here for YouTube purposes. So we're really close. We're very, very close is my point. And then we'll get more over at the bowling alley tonight, and that'll be great. And those toys and those gift cards, we sit there every year. We take that picture with Deborah and her staff and the folks at the Guardian Ad Litem that come out to collect. And that is not to be recognized or seen, but to share in the warmth and the glow of those presents on that table and those people and their smiles seeing that. That's a picture I love. I've got a lot of them over the years, and I have held on to every one of them. So that's the good stuff.
That's one of those I tell you all the time about, maybe 2 or 3 days out of the year, I'll pop on to Facebook to head over to the Warchant Facebook account because we've got to post an article. But it's by way of my own personal account, which, I mean, God, compared to how often I used to be on that in college, I don't ever use it. But the memories pop up. So I always check the memories. I'm like, all right, what idiot thing did I say 15 years ago that I need to delete? Well, this time of year for the memories, it's always the bowling photos.
It's the best one,
It's always the bowling photos, which is a great
Jeff
thing.
had hair in this one.
That's right, yeah.
That's how far back it goes. There's not only the moment where it pops up and says, this at this time 10 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever it is. There's some on there that pop up where I go, not only did I have hair, that was good thick hair there. And then you're like, then there's the one that pops up where you're like, oh, you were living a lie, Cameron. All the moose in the world couldn't save you. It was past time to shave it. What were you holding on to? Every balding man listening to this knows of which I speak, that if I moose it this way and I point it up, then maybe, just maybe.
As long as it doesn't rain.
Damn this wind. I always crack up when I'm in the stands at a Florida State football game and I see gentlemen coming up the steps in the stands to their seat that are hanging on for dear life. I'm like, sir, the time is nigh. I see your hairline. You ain't fooling anybody. I want to reach out to him, let him know it's going to be okay.
There was a bartender at the parks that I was at last week. One bartender where when he turned to the side to go grab something and grab a refill, I was like, oh man. Because straight on, he presents you wouldn't know a thing. I'm like, oh, Jeff would have something to say about this. That's my thought. Like, he would have something to say. For me, I treat it like that guy in the Tarantino movie with De Niro and Samuel L. And they're in the mall. Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah. Foxy Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown. Yeah.
And the one guy's like, well, I decided to buy hair plugs, because they make me feel better about myself. So I decided to do that. I'm like, okay, that's the guy who worked in the vacuum store in Breaking Bad.
Of course. Yeah.
Now it makes me feel better about myself.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, good for you, man. Get your hair plugs.
Live Spectator, the answer is a resounding yes. I am bringing back the replica of Bill Murray's bowling ball from Kingpin with the rose in it.
Tonight?
I am.
You got a big urn?
I've had the big urn.
But the thing cracked, I thought.
No. I didn't like using the big urn because at the time I was weak. The big urn is a man's ball. It is. You gotta have a little something to you to roll. But I've been strong this year, hitting the gym hard. I'm ready to roll, big earn. So the rose is gonna make a special appearance tonight.
I think a man's ball should be forever the motto when we return to prominence as Florida State football.
It's a man's ball.
That's a man's ball. Because ball is football for lifers.
Yeah, ball.
It's a man's ball.
But yeah, and I had
that's what we play.
Here you go. That's correct. I'm looking at JLM's comment. Bill Murray also had the legendary comb over in Kingpin. It's the best. It's the best. Straight up in the air for half the movie. Yes. This Bill Murray ball, the big earn ball is something. It's a doozy.
Was it you? I could be blending memories. It might be somebody in my family that
TP. Mario, you win.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely right.
That was Lance Armstrong's catchphrase while he was winning those tours.
It's 100% true.
That's a man's ball.
I feel like you let go of the big earn and it would fly 10 to 15 feet down the lane before it hit. And we always felt like you were going to break the damn boards.
I had a year where I was slinging it and it's a heavy ball. And so it would go caca.
Like you would pass the first row of arrows before it landed on the lane, which every time we all winced, he's going to break the damn lane.
Well, I was trying to muscle my way to a 200 is what I was doing. There was no real form to that, but yeah, it was 13,870. I'll get you some sports momentarily. Hang in there. Let's get this thing up over 14 in the commercial break. We could do it. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV.
Holy moly, this hot tub is nice. I wonder if I can keep this one and take it back to the North Pole with me.
I really think we gotta get you back on the sleigh, Santa. I don't think the Sandersons are gonna appreciate the cookie crumbs floating in their hot tub when they wake up.
Okay, let's make a stop at Swain Pools and Spas and pick up a gift card from Mrs. Claus and put a big floating bow on it.
The perfect gift for Christmas this year is an amazing hot spring or Caldera spa from Swain Pools and Spas. Stop by today to get the best price in town with delivery and setup just in time for the new year. Visit Swain Pools and Spas on Tharp Street under the huge sign. Online at swainpools.com.
And right next to Swain Pools and Spas is Tallahassee Car Care. Stop in today for everything from an oil change and brake repair and tires to alignments and transmission. Big or small, we do it all. It's Tallahassee Car Care, the only repair shop where you can take a dip while we repair your whip. Tallahassee Car Care, right next to Swain Pools and Spas.
Get involved! Penthouse for jewelry, penthouse for jewelry, penthouse for jewelry, the real nice price.
Hey man, have you heard the sound? Penthouse for jewelry's the best in town. For rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. Penthouse for jewelry store.
When was the last time you randomly did something nice for someone that means a lot to you? Now, I say this every day at the end of my show for everybody to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Well, one way to do that is to drop into Penthouse and get a gift for someone who deserves it. It'll brighten their day, their week, maybe even their year. You don't have to wait for a holiday or special occasion, so don't wait to go check out a true local gem serving Tallahassee since 1988. Now, sing along with me, and I'll see you at Penthouse.
Penthouse for jewelry, penthouse for jewelry, penthouse for jewelry, the real nice price.
Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, there came wise men from the east. The star which they saw in the east went before them, over where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. May that joy fill your heart throughout the coming year. From Sellers on Capitol Circle Northeast in Tallahassee, just north of Mahan Drive, for tile, carpet, hardwood, and luxury vinyl. Online at sellers.com or call 850-656-8453. Whitten Glass on South Monroe since 1945 for window glass, mirrors, custom shower and bath enclosures, tabletops, and storefront glass. Online at whittenglass.com or call 850-222-5781.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachian Parkway.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I have to say that given the matchups in the opening round of the college football playoff, I'm glad we got a game that has some real weight to it. I know that none of us are happy. At least the vast majority that are listening and watching to this show are not happy that Miami made it in. But it does make for a great game. Coupled with the Oklahoma-Alabama game, you got a couple of really good football games in this opening round where there's some stuff to it. And, you know, I'm like, if you go back to last year, Arizona State, Indiana, SMU, you'd look at those teams and say that every one of them were elated, over the moon to be there. But there's real pressure on Miami. There's real pressure on Texas A&M because their team is good enough to make some noise in this whole thing. Whereas you didn't suspect that Arizona State, SMU, or Indiana could win much in last year's playoff. You just didn't see it. You thought they were interesting stories. I mean, the Arizona State story was interesting. Obviously, none was more glaring and shocking than Indiana. But we talked a lot about SMU, and I thought winning on the road seemed rather unlikely. And then it was cold, and their quarterback wanted you to know he was cold, and Penn State won that game. But this year, you like Texas A&M or Miami could make noise in the playoff. They could absolutely make noise in the playoff. And I think that's, you know, true of obviously Oklahoma and Alabama to some extent too. I'll be very interested to see what Alabama is.
Like each of these teams could win the next round. I don't know that they could go 4 in a row, attrition-wise. But even as bad as Alabama's been playing, and it hadn't been good, you wouldn't put it past them to be in a 20-17 game 2 times over if they were able to escape Oklahoma with a win, to be in a game just like that the next time they play.
Yeah, no, they're not my odds-on favorite to win it, obviously. But they're good enough that in a given Saturday or Friday or, you know, whenever it is that they're scheduled to play, they could do some damage. Now, if you're a Miami fan, you're happy to be there, you have a good roster, you don't trust your coach. If you're Texas A&M, you sure loved your team, and you do love Elko, but you loved it more when they were 11-0 with a 1 or a 2 seed on your doorstep. But instead, you lose to Texas. You don't get in on the SEC championship game. And, you know, I think you're a little nervous. That's not the draw you wanted. Miami's good enough to go into Kyle Field and beat you. Not the draw you were hoping for. Oklahoma and Alabama, I think both know they're in for a hard-hitting war. If you're Kalen DeBoer and your name comes up for every job under the sun, I imagine that a loss to Oklahoma here, your second in the same season, would be enough to get Alabama fans once again talking about how you're not a great fit. Fair or not, that's kind of how that would go.
All at once, he's sought after and maybe lukewarm within his own fan base.
You don't think
all
the fine folks in Tuscaloosa are running around with their Kalen DeBoer jerseys or anything like that, right? They're kind of like,
certainly the media columnists are not.
And if you're Oklahoma, you're just it's interesting for me to say this because OU has such a rich history, but in truth, they were this close to telling Venables to have a good day, and then all of a sudden, he got that defense righted, and they're dominant. Well, they were good last year too, but they got the offense righted to an extent, enough to where their dominant defense could be a difference maker. Tulane and JMU, we give no shot. Ole Miss and Oregon, we expect to win. And Oregon's under more pressure, certainly, than Ole Miss when we think about these teams in the first rounds of the playoffs. Oregon, not in pressure in the sense that they could lose, but pressure in that the only thing that has eluded Oregon is a national championship. They've done everything else there is to do for a big-time college football program. They still are looking to kick down the door for the national championship.
Oh, you're right. I think without a doubt, Oregon has the most pressure on them of anybody in the first round of the playoff. Second would be Texas A&M. I don't know that Oklahoma has much pressure on them at all because they needed to steady things this year. Mission accomplished. You're in the playoff.
100%. I agree with you.
The fact that they're there, I'm not saying it's good enough, but it's plenty good. Successful season, whether they win or they lose against Alabama. Bama's under moderate pressure at most. You could almost argue Miami's under more pressure than Alabama is to win, to finally cash in and get something. A playoff berth is something, but to really drive it home for Mario and that program, that two quarterbacks that they invested millions and millions of dollars, are you going to get more than 0 playoff wins? There's a little bit more pressure, I think, on Miami and Alabama in that regard.
The reason for the Miami pressure is the financial investment. I'm sure you saw the article in The Athletic Matt Baker wrote, in which he pointed to the contenders to win the national championship and what their total football expenses submitted were for the 2023-2024 seasons. Alabama was the highest on the list at 112.2. Texas A&M at 82.2. Ohio State at 78.6. Again, this is 2023-2024. So these are the numbers we have to look back on. But it does speak to the investments of the programs. Miami at 78.1. So there's Miami, 4th on the list. No ACC championship. They've accomplished nothing. This year, you would say they've accomplished something. They made the college football playoff. Still no ACC championship, but they're in the playoff. To your point, I would think if you're 4th highest on the list, you'd like a playoff win.
One.
You'd like something. Georgia at 68.9, Oklahoma at 65.8, Indiana at 61.3, Ole Miss at 57.1, Oregon way down at 53.9, Texas Tech 34.4, and then
that is old data for them.
That is for sure. But James Madison and Tulane, as you could well imagine, way down at the bottom. Actually, James Madison in those 23-24 years, 15.9 million compared to Tulane's 13. James Madison's like, we're going to do this. Now, when you look at it through that lens, Texas A&M and Miami, you go, well, hey, how do you do? 2 versus 4 investment-wise. And we know A&M's been invested forever. I mean,
unlimited funds.
Unlimited funds.
They should just have a picture of Russell Wilson.
I'm glad you didn't do it.
I didn't, no.
13,920 is where we're at. $13,920 as we move our way towards $14,000. We have only about 30 minutes left in the program, a little less than that. Let's see if we can get to 19,000. It's got to be close. When I add the 2,000 we got just before, 15,920, I still think we can get there. Hang in there. Hang in there. Let's get it done. Reach out to your friends. We've got a little time left in this here program. Let's see if we can do it.
This is easily the second highest amount of money we've ever raised for any of the charities that we've had a show for. Easily. Now, clearly, just trailing last year's efforts for this very same show.
That is a better way of putting it.
Well, because we've had about 12 of them now.
Yeah, we've been doing this
Hurricane
a long time.
relief, second harvest.
Yep.
Yeah.
People show up, and they're still showing up. Let's see if we can get there. 13,920. Let's hope we can get past 14 during the break. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Police in Mariana have arrested. Mariana Police Department at 850-526-3125 or Chipola Crime Stoppers at 850-526-5000. This is Rachel Anay with the Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
Now, here's your Tallahassee weather report.
I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold, and it is a much warmer lunchtime than it was yesterday. Upper 50s and low 60s when that was pretty much our high yesterday. We'll likely be heading home in those mid to low 60s, and the sun will be shining all day long. The highs, they're going to be hitting around 3 p.m., potentially in the upper 60s. Most of us will be in the mid 60s. From the ABC 27 First to Know Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold.
Ho, ho, ho! Oh, no.
What's wrong, Santa?
Oh, Dasher is slinging stars around and broke my windshield.
Call Seminole Auto Glass. They'll fix it in a day and recalibrate Rudolph's forward collision alert.
Well, how jolly.
Happy holidays, Tallahassee. Sarah here. We know that glass damage is not on your wish list, but we are here to help. Just go to SeminoleAutoGlass.com, upload your insurance card, and we'll get you seeing clearly in no time. Hey, Santa, what the gingerbread man put on his bed?
What?
A cookie sheet.
Oh, no.
Better call Seminole.
I'm Michael Garrison, third generation here at Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee. It's a common misunderstanding that a metal roof is more expensive than a traditional shingle roof. At Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee, we'll show you how affordable it really can be. A metal roof far exceeds the durability and lifespan of a shingle roof, saving you thousands of dollars over time. Not only do we have the technology to fabricate and produce the best materials, we have the most experienced contractors to install your roof as well. And we will match or beat any other price in tile. Find us online at metalroofingsales.net. You can trust the 3 generations of service under one roof.
Leaky faucet, busted pipes, clogged toilet? M&L Plumbing is here for you. For all commercial, construction, and residential plumbing issues, call M&L Plumbing at 575-9393 or visit online at mnlplumbing.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. I'm looking at news here in our chat as we catch up. Warchant back in at Texas as defensive coordinator, huh? Is that right, Hog Watcher? Luke Kromenhoek is in the portal again. Want to go back out and get him?
What, for the $1 million he was asking for?
I don't know. We've whiffed on all of our quarterbacks forever and a day. Brutal.
Dad overplayed his hand there. Could have had a lot more money to stick with Florida State.
He may have gotten paid pretty good to go to Mississippi State, though.
I don't know, man. I think they would have played him earlier because they would have felt compelled to play him. But you're right. It's an SEC school, so they might have overpaid.
I did see where Indiana is finalizing a new 3-year contract with their offensive coordinator, Mike Shanahan. No real surprise there. It's part of Kurt Cignetti's staff. They're reinforcing commitment all the time. They got it rolling right there. One of the things that is interesting about Cignetti's success, and really any coach for that matter, but his story is especially fascinating because, again, he was a journeyman coach, and now he is the most successful coach over the last 2 years, at least in terms of the games won on the field, and he's won a second straight AP Coach of the Year award. They just won the Big Ten. His quarterback won the Heisman. He's pretty much featured anytime college football is talked about. Big picture is that I think that we look at the momentum of a program and just how precarious that is, that you can be riding high one day and feeling as if this is never going to end, and then knocked from your perch, and it seems, well, as we all well know, an endless climb to get back. And if you're an Indiana fan, obviously you're happy to see these kinds of investments, because when your defensive coordinator is having the kind of success that he is, Brian Haynes, you want to know that he's not going to be stolen, because that's exactly what happens to coordinators that are successful anywhere. And they give him a huge amount of money. He has lost only one assistant from the 2024 staff. He's kept his primary coordinators. They've invested in them. Now it's Shanahan, who a lot of people wanted to look at to bring to at least 4 or 5 different programs. One of them I talked about with somebody regarding FSU. Obviously, Shanahan, a name that we all know and a family that we know in the world of football forever. And he's young, and they paid him. They made sure, just as they paid Brian Haynes. So continuity, they've invested in. Head coach, they've invested in. And you realize, man, when you have something golden like this, you got to ride that wave, because we know the avalanche that can happen when you fail or have a setback, or there is some sort of a problem, a hiccup along the way, and it gets disrupted. It can be very tough to get it back on track.
And it can be with the very same person that you go double down on. And it happens at the NFL level all the time.
Correct.
But what's crazy is, obviously, the NFL, usually you go all in on personnel and coach at the same time if you have a star quarterback or a star whatever, edge rusher, receiver, offensive lineman. As they get older or they get injured, everybody goes down at the same time. In college, it just happens so fast. The turnover is so difficult. Like, are we going to cultivate? Is the sport going to cultivate a star made for the moment who's able to reload consistently? Easier to do in basketball. You only need to get 5 guys. Well, and in truth, the best gets 6 or 7 and they rotate. But can you really do that with 22 starters year in and year out when you double down and triple down and lock in somebody like a Cignetti? Like in the other era, in the previous era of college football, this makes all the sense in the world. Mm-hmm. You've got the next Saban, you think. In this moment, as smart as it is, because they've never been here before, can he do that? 4 seasons, 5 seasons in a row in an era that's set up for you to fail miserably, more than even the NFL is, I think.
Yeah, I do think you have to do everything in your power to sustain continuity. If you've identified 3 or 4 reasons for it, you pay those folks, and you know that the return on investment is great. I mean, Indiana is seeing money that they couldn't have dreamed of right about now. It's daunting in the moment, but, hosting a playoff game. I saw over in Oxford, they're talking about what it means to the city for them to be able to host a college football playoff game. Now, I think they've grossly overestimated what that's worth to the city when I read the story, and it was something absurd, like $75 million. I don't know about all that, but it was a big number. And, again, if you're hosting a playoff game, it's sold out for sure. And then all that comes with that. God forbid you keep winning. We know the payouts you get just for advancing. They're spectacular. It helps offset that sizable commitment. It makes you nervous because it is hard to sustain, But I think that we're going to measure success differently as we move along in college football. We're going to say that, all right, in the modern era of college football, where 12 and soon to be 16 teams make the playoff, and your schedules become more daunting, and there's a willingness because more teams have a chance at the postseason to do that, to play more conference games and to have out-of-conference games like the ones we have with Alabama. You say to yourself, all right, well, what is it? Once every other year you make the playoff, or 2 out of every 3 years you make the playoff, or
or you make the play-in game, because that's going to get
conference
reclassified.
championship game,
So if you make the playoff in 2 out of 4 seasons, and you make the play-in game, but you don't advance to the playoff a 3rd season, and you just don't make anything the 4th season, that's a good 4-year run.
If you're in a Power 4 conference, and if you're in a Power 2, and you give yourself a chance to make the playoff because you're playing in said play-in game that they're going to reclassify at some point.
Right.
Yeah, man, you had a great year. You've had a good year, and you've got a chance to make it great. And if you do that consistently, you are upper echelon elite. This is not the 90s. This is not what it was, where dynastic teams won bare minimum 10 games a year every year for 14 consecutive years, and we're in the top 5. That's not there are maybe exceptions. Ohio State and Georgia appear to be one right now, but I don't think that's going to be the norm. Look at even Alabama fighting to make the playoff.
Yeah.
Didn't make it a year ago. I mean, obviously Nick Saban leaves and things change, but so is the landscape. I'm not one of the Florida State fans that thinks that Mike's got to win 10 games every year for me to call him successful, but it can't obviously be this disaster. You have to operate commiserate to a Florida State standard and commitment. And Lord knows 2 and 5 wins ain't it. They're also dysfunctional in so many ways.
Yeah, it's 20 wins the last 3 years, and we had 13 in a row 2 seasons ago.
It's a toughie.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal. We are at $14,135, and I thank you for that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more here in the waning moments of the show. It's been fantastic. That number really should read 16,135. So we were hoping to get to 19 today, but I can tell you right now in my heart of hearts, if we don't, that's just fine. We have done well. You have done well, and the kids of the Guardian Ad Litem Second Circuit have done well, and they'll be continuing to do well as we collect even more at the bowling alley tonight, 7 o'clock, Capitol Lanes. If you got it and you just joined us and you have an opportunity to give, please do. You can. It's very simple right there on the YouTube page.
And if you're listening on the podcast, this happened last year for a lot of folks, and a lot of dollars were raised after the buzzer of the 4 o'clock, ending of the live show. This link is still available. So sometimes people listen a little bit to the pod and then they go back and they watch some segments if they're really funny. They want to see how it looked. Well, just find this show. It's got a different thumbnail. It's purple and green. It says Giving Show, and it's got a giant Guardian Ad Litem logo on it.
Click on it.
So if you're listening on demand or on the radio right now, you could go back after we are done, and it will still be there, a donate button right there for you, and it shows the running total of the donations, which are now in excess of $14,000. So it doesn't have to end at 4 o'clock. If you're listening to this on Friday morning, you can still help, and we would very much appreciate it if you would.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-134. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark. T-SparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, and today I want to talk straight with you about debt, especially high interest rate credit cards, and why you shouldn't just sit there and hope the situation will fix itself. Nationwide, the average credit card interest rate is hovering around 21% or higher. The total revolving credit card debt in the U.S. is over $1 trillion and rising. If you're carrying a credit card balance, you're likely paying hundreds of dollars each month just in interest, without even touching your principal. But here's the good news. You can act. What I help folks do is refinance their home or use a home loan strategy to consolidate high-interest debt into something with a much lower interest rate and one payment. It puts you in control. So if you own a home or you're buying one, let's talk about turning your house into a tool so you can stop the credit card interest trap and you can stop feeling like you're paying lots without making progress. Go to loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com, and let's get you on a smarter financial path and get out of the high interest grind.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
As we get older, health starts to mean more. It's not just about adding years. It's about making every year feel good. That's why Capital Health Plan created the Center for Healthy Aging, where care is centered around what matters most to you. Through your personalized My Vitality plan, adults 55 and up get one-on-one guidance for strength, nutrition, and lifelong wellness so you can stay active and confident in every stage of life. Call 850-854-8566 to learn more.
Football season is here, Tallahassee. Are you ready for backyard watch parties, burgers on the grill, and game day glory? Wait, now with those leaves piled up like a linebacker blocking the end zone. Call the lawn john. We'll tackle those falling leaves, clean up your yard, and lay down fresh pine straw or mulch so your lawn looks like a championship field. Don't fumble your fall cleanup. Call the Lawn Johns today, and let's score you the best-looking yard on the block. The Lawn Johns. Your lawn, our game.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
And down the stretch they come. 14,205 is where we sit, raised via YouTube on the show today. Congrats to everybody out there. Thank you for your help. We have a little time left. If you're so inclined, jump in now and see if we can't bump that sucker up near 19 is what I was hoping. By the way, again, just to reiterate, that 14.2 is actually 16,205. 2,000 donated just before we came on, before the YouTube tally. So doing well there, and as Tom just alluded to, a chance to see this thing after all surpass, because a lot of people listen to the pod afterwards.
One of my favorite moments from earlier in today's show is you were talking about double birds, and a bird may have appeared on the camera, which I think is going to be an excellent screenshot where you have a holiday show with a donation total with a bird.
Oh man. Well, I do feel compelled. I've said it a lot today, but it is incumbent upon me to do this. The Florida Guardian Ad Litem Foundation, benefiting the children in Circuit 2. They represent the children in Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Franklin, Jefferson, and Liberty counties. Looking for donations, looking for volunteers and mentors, looking for help. And thanks to all of you for having done that. It has been another special day. Another very special day. Hey, before we go, we'll total out here before it's all said and done. But we have a few minutes left. I did laugh at this story, and you might think at the beginning of this, Tom, this would not be something to laugh at. I laughed rather at a tweet that I read about this story that made me think, oh, you're screwed. And here it is. I'm taking you back. Baseball, there was the wrongful death lawsuit that was brought by Tyler Skaggs' family. You know that, right?
It's going a little bit back. Yeah.
It's going back, right? Yeah. Against the Los Angeles Angels, people within the clubhouse knowingly providing Tyler allegedly with the opiates that he was addicted to, which led to his death. The person covering that trial, and this has been going on for some time now, Tom, he noted that the jury asked this question: do we as the jury get to decide the punitive damages? And is there no limit for it? They asked the judge that question. Sir.
They've already been admonished, and that's not necessarily a negative term. They've already been admonished. They know. That juror wanted that on the record.
I got to tell you, if in that moment you're Artie Moreno, buddy, you need to race to the negotiation table. If you're Artie Moreno, I dare say to you that in that moment I would go, oh no. I think maybe we should sit down and settle. I'm for settling. I'm for settling, everybody. But that is a hell of a thing to have a jury ask a judge during that trial, just as an aside. Wow. I just checked in. And here in the waning moments, we have made it. We have made it. Because on your screen, you will see $17,225. When you couple it with the $2,000 given to us just before the start of the show, that was not tallied by the YouTube tab, we are over 19,000. And I had a suspicion it could happen. You guys have done it yet again, a remarkable total. And I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank each and every one of you for a contribution and to me, well, I don't want to overstate it. It changes lives. Thank you.
So to give some thanks to folks who have donated in the last hour or so since we updated the list that is in front of you, and now it's up over 18,200.
Which puts us over 20,000 right here.
D44 Johnson, thank you very much. Spartan Noel Kev, a host of anonymous donors. You know who you are out there. Mr. H, Gordon, Steve Matthews, thank you very much. Stan Tipton, thank you. S Camp, Bill Stevenson with the $3,000 that helped put us over the edge, and MHE. Utah is the last name, $1,000. Hyperbolic Knoll, $50. Tally Ginger Knoll, $20. All of that has helped add this to 18,275, with the outside donations pushing us to $20,275 with a few minutes yet to go. Thank you all.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. Thank you very, very much. Wow, we did it. And that turned out to be the power hours, right, Noel Gal? We have mere seconds left, actually, Tommy.
Well, we took an extra break, so we got 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Did you watch in that time, very briefly, I know this will put people to sleep, but did you watch the Golf Channel games last night?
How about Luke Clinton?
They were awesome.
It was a
long
event.
show. It was a long event, but it was
too long.
It was really good.
It is cool. That's a cool event. That's fun watching. Luke Clinton had himself a night. The 2 best shots of the night.
Yeah, he sure did.
By the way, that clubhead speed on the drive.
Yeah, ball speed 191.
What are we doing?
That's cooking. Yeah.
That's getting it out there.
Kurt, congratulations to all of you. So they say congratulations to us on today.
No, man.
We're conduits, man.
Yeah. This is an easy thing. It's just I serve it up, and you guys are hitting it out, and it is truly amazing. Here we are, 18,790. Add the 2,000 we got beforehand, and that puts us over 20,000 easily. It's just unbelievably important, and I am forever grateful.
It doesn't show up in the chat who just donated 500, but
somebody did.
Thank you to Andrew for his donation. 18,790 now on the YouTube.
So as Tom said, we've still got. Look, we're going to easily surpass the number. It's pretty remarkable. We're gonna surpass the number, but this stays open. Your ability, if you're listening to the podcast, you're like, oh man, I missed on that, and you want to help, you can. The ability to do so, the link stays open, I should say. So when you're listening to the pod, just go to the YouTube feed and you'll see it there. Click on it and donate, and help if you can. It's awesome. Merry Christmas indeed. And I can't wait, because when I get off the air, I get to call Deborah.
Yes, you do.
It's a good call.
And she is retiring and deserves all the thanks in the world for how many hundreds of lives she's changed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's done it for a very, very long time. What a cool call this is going to be.
Tom, thank you for $50. Another $50 donation is we're pushing $18,840.
Thank you, everybody, and we're going to go have fun tonight at the bowling alley thanks to Capitol Lanes, and we'll collect even more toys, gift cards, and the like. Love you guys. Thank you very, 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 very. There's not enough words in the English language. Thank you.